Welcome back from the Thanksgiving break. Hope you're all fat and happy like we are over here at the One Lane Road Podcast. I want to remind you one more time that Aminette's Eagle Auction and Realty has an auction this Saturday, December 1st at 10 a.m. just outside of Salina on Highway 52. It's the home and property of John Mark and Louise Hayes. The house is a beautiful three-story home built in 1916. The farm has a total of 182 acres, and there's antique furniture that you may never see anywhere for sale ever again. If you have any questions, call Clint Connor at 931-644-7149, and he can give you all the details on the auction. If you see Clint at the sale, do us a favor and tell him that you heard about the auction from OLR Podcast. Thanks, folks. Coming at you from the OLR Podcast Studio.
It's really more of a basement.
Coming to you from the OLR Basement Studio.
But it's still a podcast.
Coming to you from the Podcast Basement Studio.
Yeah, but you still need to say OLR.
Coming to you from the OLR Podcast Basement Studio.
Oh, that's way too many words.
Coming at you.
That's not enough. You still need to say OLR.
Let's just start. It's OLR.
All right, welcome to tonight, a special edition of the One Lane Road Podcast. We're joined by our buddy, musician, and a hell of a good time, Chris Raines. What's up tonight, man?
Doing good.
How is everything, buddy?
I'm all right.
You probably won't remember this because you've probably done 10,000 shows between since then. I saw you at Vinny T's one night, and I had a buddy there, and you were singing. I don't remember what you were singing, but he was adamant about you singing Fireman. He kept singing out Fireman.
Your buddy was?
Yeah.
Who was our buddy?
It's not ours. It was one of mine. You wouldn't know him. I don't want to dime him out right here, but anyway, you was killing it in the middle of this song, and he was hammered, just yelling out Fireman. And you hit the high part of it, never let off the music, and went, "Give me a second," and then went back.
Oh, I kind of think I remember this.
Oh, it was funny.
I can't see you doing the Fireman song. You didn't want to, did you?
George Strait?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I love this.
You love it?
Yeah.
That was funny.
Well, that's an easy bar song.
Oh, yeah. And everybody wants it too, right?
4 chords and take off.
All right.
Of course, especially at Vinny T's at that time.
Right.
Anything was just fast as you could go and don't stop.
Yeah.
That's probably Lucas, too, because we were running around the same time period. That's my first recollection of meeting you. And not to the extent of where we got to be friends at Woolies, but my first memory of you is Vinny T's from those days when I was.
Was y'all in the same fraternity?
No, I was not in a fraternity.
He was loosely with us. You know, he
was just hanging out with the boys.
Yeah. Which basically what I was doing too.
He was with Cucumber.
Yeah. We were pretty much all three inseparable. And Adam Choate, Choate was probably the one that brought us out there.
Yeah. Well, Choate moved on to bigger and better things in a damn hurry.
Choate broke all of my music equipment.
Oh, I bet.
All the time.
I guarantee
I
that.
knew there would be an Adam Choate something kind of story pop up. What was his name?
I totally forgot that. He paid me for it too.
I believe
that too.
He would come up there and get tickled, and then he would step on my cord and pull my whole jack and everything out of my guitar. Here's $100, Raines.
Yeah.
And then it'd be gone,
he'd get wild, but he was really good to be around if you got too wild. Because he walked around with me in Knoxville one night just because I was on a different level than everybody else, and he just walked behind me, man. He just said, "Yeah, we'll be back."
I used to make the joke that he saw more of my shows than I did.
Yeah. I look back at some old pictures today looking for a particular photo of all of us, and I just happened to click on your album that was at the Vinny T's, and he was out there grinding with about 5 different women while you're in the background singing.
Yeah, we couldn't keep him off stage.
Yeah, that's funny.
He would just look for, "Oh, you need me up here?" "I don't need you up here ever." but
you mean always is what he heard. Right?
I remember like Christina and all that bunch.
All right.
They would all be there, and so he was just part of one of the girls, It'd be 700 girls and Adam.
Yeah, that's Adam.
Yeah, every one of those pictures is me, Adam, and all the girls.
Right.
Because he's just hanging out for some reason up there.
Well, for all of our listeners that may or may not remember, you played at our concert day in the park.
That was a fun day.
Played, produced, done everything.
Done everything for it. Our banner that is on the wall now, and also if you're downloading our podcast on iTunes, you'll actually see the banner that he made for us. It's what you get to see whenever you pull it up there. So we thank you for that. So pretty big part there for a little while. We was thinking you had more of more to do in the podcast than we did.
I was excited about it when y'all started it because if you try to do anything creative, it's hard to do. But you try to do it with two people, it's even harder.
Oh, yeah.
I've been in a band all my life, and I know because don't matter who's in the band, they all know best.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a creative process, and it's hard to do. It's a marriage that nobody wants, kind of,
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about that. How did you get into music? Where did it come from?
Definitely not from the Rain side of my family.
Right.
My mom's side of the family, they all play bluegrass. Dad's side of the family, mom's brothers used to make fun of Dad, said he couldn't play the radio. And I don't know where
I got some of that gene.
Yeah. Well, I got half of it too, I think. But we just started with, the heavy metal stuff.
Right.
Just crazy about all that
That
stuff.
teenage stuff, right? Getting that angst out.
And then from there, just I got more into songwriting. Before I wouldn't really want to be a lead guitar player. I just wanted to be a songwriter.
Right.
So, which suited me better, I guess. And that just grew into Brad getting. I was like, "Hey, buy a bass," because we don't have a bass player, And then he shows up. I got a bass now. Show me. Like I don't know.
Right.
And that's how it happened. It was just.
Now you play multiple instruments as well.
Mainly just guitar.
Now your brother plays multiple though, don't he?
He can play anything.
Drums, bass.
He's as good at bass and drums.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got. If you look in the corners, I've got 2 guitars here. Neither of which can I play. I brought them down and stuck them out in the.
That's a good guitar.
Yeah, that's a real nice guitar. My roommate that I had was a fantastic guitarist. I mean, he would. Friptronics. I don't know if you ever listen to Fripp much, but he would sit and listen to Fripp, and he plays on like 1/28 notes, just real fast stuff, and my roommate would sit and play that stuff. He'd sit around, had a real nice Les Paul, and he would, whatever was on the television, he would play whatever was on the television in the background. He wouldn't even know it. He would just be sitting there picking it and picking the same tune out, just real good guitarist. But anyway, he had that same acoustic, and I thought, hey, he knows what he's doing. Let me go get that one. And so I would sit around and hold that acoustic whilst he was playing his.
You just want to be part of it.
I just wanted to be part of the band.
Yeah. I'm less than that even. When Lucas was asking me a couple weeks ago why I love music so much, I really didn't have an answer other than my dad playing records when I was little, because my extent of playing music, I've got a guitar, and it's signed by Chris Stapleton, Shooter Jennings, and a couple others. And I was at a private house party, another musician had
but
signed
that's some
it.
pretty good ones there.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah. And it's
not like Brad signed it or nothing.
Yeah, it's a bitch taking anywhere though. Like you don't want to take it to places. Like I know. Because you don't want to haul it around. But like a couple of times, I knew I was going to have these guys 1-on-1 for a while. I'd be like, I'll pull it out. And one guy was like, and it was actually Justin Wells, and I was at that private party with him and Jason Eady. He's like, I said, I need to get you on this guitar, and he goes, yeah, what kind is it? Oh, that's a good question. I said, it's a black one.
You didn't even know.
No, it's a black one.
That's the guitar faux pas right there. You got to know what kind it is.
Yeah. I'm sure my credibility with him went down.
Yeah, he went. He don't know.
Yeah. I picked up a Martin that was on the wall at I don't even know where I was at, but anyway, at that point in time, I didn't know what I had. My roommate was there with me, and I picked up that Martin, and I was strumming. I was like, man, that's real nice. It's it feels really good. And he said, you got about a $1,500 guitar in your hand right now. I said, holy shit, can you put this back up for me before I drop it?
Well, that's like when we was kids, you just didn't really know. But remember when Gruen was down on Broadway? Gruen Guitars? He's right there almost, he may be right there close to where Margaritaville is now. But you go in there and 100,000, 200,000. And then you went upstairs, but you had to be invited to get to go upstairs.
Right.
Oh, it's
the nice stuff was upstairs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just through the roof kind of stuff.
That's crazy. There's a market for anything. There's a niche market in almost anything you can get into. But what's the difference in a $100,000 guitar and the one you're playing? Is there any sound difference?
How big your checking account is.
Right. That's about it. Right.
Yeah. Honestly, God, I've probably got 30 guitars.
Yeah.
And
how many different Takaminis?
I have 2 of these.
You have 2 of those?
Yeah.
What's that plastic back guitar?
My Ovation.
Your Ovation, yeah.
See, I used those for years.
Yeah.
And I played it last night, actually.
Yeah.
The hard thing about I'd keep breaking them because it get hot and then cold when I got in there, and they just
bust up
because it can't expand because it's plastic on the back.
Right.
But I love those guitars, and most people don't because of the rounded back. But I used them forever because, well, you can see with this guitar, I got the sound hole covered.
Right.
And that's the same thing Ovation is, so it don't feed back. So I can play it at a louder volume in a club.
Right. You had told me at one point in time, I was like, yeah, I saw you playing that Ovation. You said, no, you didn't see me playing this one. You said, I've had 15 or 20 since that time.
I've got I think I've got 4 now. And all of them are cracked.
Really?
Yeah, at some point. The black one I used in the Vinny T's days, I had a blonde one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just got one little crack in it. But the black one I used for 10 years.
You can move around a little bit better with that rounded back, too.
Well, you had to find a spot on your hip to kind of hold it. But yeah, I used that one for ever and ever.
That's cool.
Over here doing stuff for our social media. Yeah. Don't mind me. You guys have a good time. I'm just doing our social media plugs here. So everybody was excited about this, and we've been on Chris for a long time. We'll get back to his.
It's all my fault, I know.
Well, it's not exactly like we're over 2 neighborhoods from you. You did. It was one of those deals where I said when he agreed last week. And I said,
"Did you drop your phone when I said yes?"
Oh, he'll put it out. He'll put it out real quick before you have time to change your mind too.
Like, oh,
well, that's what I do. Yeah, I will. I'll put somebody on the spot. No, but I knew we had talked about it. We've had many evenings at Hooligans and other places talking about it. And
that's what I said when we was talking about it before. I was like, "We'll start talking about music, and there'll be 4 hours pass, and we didn't get all of it out."
Yeah. So it was just a matter of making it happen. And here it's the dead of winter, and it's through the week. And I knew
first time it's not been hot down here, by the way.
Oh my Lord!
Yeah.
And so when I texted and you said that, and people was like, "Oh man!" Like 2 or 3 people has texted me and said, "I can't wait."
Oh yeah,
I can't wait because kind of a staple of local music, especially. And of course, he's been all over, playing everywhere, but very, very instrumental, like I said, in us. And I couldn't have been more pleased with the logo. When I said, I said, here's what we got. And I said, it's cool. And Lucas had done a little thing. Him and his wife had done some on the computer. Then he's like, wait a minute.
It was with that background, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the same background, yeah.
It was the same background. And you're thinking, I'm thinking One Lane Bridge, you said.
And that's some other guys.
Yeah.
Well, Brian that's in my band now, he was in One Lane Bridge.
Yeah.
And when you said that, I was going, wait. And I was thinking it was One Lane Road. I couldn't remember which one it was.
Right.
And that's where your creative side hits, because when you sent that back, it was something so simple as a road sign.
Yeah.
With 2 microphones. I'm thinking, damn, why didn't we think of that?
Yeah. Well, that's the way it is, too. You always look back and say, damn, it's so simple, but it's so good.
Anytime I'm making a logo, I'm the world's worst to go too far with it. And I make it too elaborate, and it's faded colors and all this stuff. And then you go, there's no chance you're ever going to get this on the shirt and get it right.
I was about to say that same thing. You actually told maybe him or me one.
Don't go with too many colors.
You got too many colors on there because you'll never get it on a koozie or a shirt or something.
If you can get it all done with one color, then you go, that's only one printing I got to pay for.
Yeah.
I think
I've been trying to black that damn background out ever since the beginning of that. Because
I can do that in no time.
Yeah.
I've already got it saved like
30
that,
seconds.
Actually.
Yeah. Our shirts are yellow microphones, aren't they? Is that what we done on our shirts?
Yeah. I think so. Well, no, hell, I don't know. I think the microphones are that with just a black background and then the yellow.
And by the way, Mackie loves it when I wear that shirt.
I love it when you wear that shirt.
He takes a picture. He's like, "Oh, we got to take a selfie every time." I was in there at Woolies one night, like on a random Tuesday or something. He's in there, like, "Got to take a picture."
Here's actually that picture right here, and you're right. It is just like that. So.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah. So
Mackie always present. By the way, I don't know if you noticed our Mackie up there, the Mackie brothers. I was telling you before we started here, you've ruined a song for me. Jason Isbell's Cover Me Up. I cannot listen to him sing it now because of the way you played it at the Acoustic Day in the Park. You had
that song.
Yeah, it was, and the way it's so slow. You sped it up whenever you played it at the park.
Did we?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't remember.
Something about the way the the way whenever Brad was playing the drums, it would echo across the bottom of the stage, and it was just a real nice roll.
Actually, I remember that stage because it being so wooden that it vibrated.
Yeah.
And I was going, this is pretty fun.
Yeah.
And people don't understand it, like musicians. And when you hear people talking about playing at the Ryman, the Grand Ole Opry, that's half the love of it because the vibration of the floor.
Right.
Because it's all that wood. And it just bounces you so good and you can feel that. And
well, you could feel it out in front of it.
That little shed thing that we played in was so vibrating that you're like, yeah, this is good. Yeah.
And that was, I don't
think vibrating's a word, but
it's high class for Hammer Springs.
I love that song so much when you played it. And you played it during your show, but you warmed up with it too a little bit.
Yeah, we just barely, I don't think the other two guys had ever even played it.
Oh, really?
I don't think Brad or Jason's ever had much. I know Brad had heard it.
Right.
I don't think Jason had ever heard it.
That's funny.
Has there ever been a saxophone in Hammer Springs since?
Not since. Probably not prior either.
And he wasn't even in our band.
That's funny. He just stepped in, didn't he?
Yeah, well, we had Brian, and Brian couldn't come for some reason. And I said, it's just a free thing. I said, if you want to come, I said, you can come. We're going to invite a bunch of people, and whoever wants to come, show up. And he's like, oh, I'll come, to the saxophone guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, he goes, what do you want to play? And I was like, but he's so good that he went to school at UT for music, but now he's a pharmacist. So he knows his stuff, you know. Right. And so I was like, do I need to tell you what chord it's in? He goes, nah, just go. And I was like, I like it. And that means no practice for Chris. Right. As long as Chris knows it, which is a battle in itself, but as soon as he'll just jump in on it and you go, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You got you got a pretty good Jason Isbell story, don't you? Did you run upon him years ago?
Yeah. Me and Brad was at. It's a bad story.
But he's been open about his struggles. You know,
They was on stage and they was right there where, where Big River is on Broadway.
Yes.
You know that parking lot where they sell peanuts or something right there all the time. It's that little small parking lot right there. Anyways, they had a stage set up right there, and it was drive-by truckers. And he got done, and he just looked horrible. I mean, on stage, but he played great. Right. Unbelievable. He still would drive-by truckers. And they said, thank you, good night, and he just stepped off the front of the stage and
oh my God.
And just come out in the crowd, and they're like, and he come back we're standing, of course, usually you can find us by the soundboard because that's the best sound in the room, probably. But we was outside, and he come back there and he goes, you guys got a beer I can have? I go, no, but I'll get you one. Right. And so we went and got him PBR and stood there and just talked to him, and we watched Wyclef Jean. And we was like, well, this is going to be horrible. And it was great.
Oh, I bet.
I can't believe that it was good because I wasn't expecting for me to ever like Wyclef Jean. And he played guitar and everything and done pretty good. But Jason Isbell was just a mess. I mean, he didn't know. I mean, he stunk. He didn't know what planet he was on. But that dude played unbelievably that day. I mean, we were just in shock. It's like, that's the guy that just played that. How does that happen functioning that well, you know? And then, 5 years later, he was gone from that band and started the
now he's just finished a 6-night set at the Ryman, sold out everyone.
Probably his third one.
His third year in a row. Yeah. Yep.
Second or third year.
Yep.
He's awesome. I mean, we went and saw him at Tennessee Theater.
Oh, yeah.
I love that room. I always say that's the room I want to die in.
Sturgill Simpson, that night we saw him, he said, if anybody ever thinks about tearing this place down, you should kill that mother. You know? And that's true. It's beautiful.
When you walk in, you go, especially for the first time. The first time we ever walked in there.
It's kind of breathtaking, isn't it?
Yes. We watched Government Mule play, and we went in, I went, oh, God. You know, this is especially when you come into the bottom and you look up and see the ceiling.
It's huge.
I was like, wow. I mean, it's just something off of a movie almost, you know. Yeah.
Cody Jinks has done a 2-night set there. I've met my Cody Jinks quota for the year, or I would have tried to win, but I can imagine how well he probably did there.
And I love the Bijou, too, right across the street. It's the small one.
Yeah, been there also.
Hey, what was that other one we went to up there in Knoxville? That just the big wide open room where we were seeing Cody Jinks.
That was the Mill and the Mine.
Milling them out.
It would remind you of and I saw
Is
you
that the new place?
Yes.
Because we was talking, we didn't know what that was.
I drank a whole bottle of Jim Beam on the way there, so I can't really tell you how to get there where it's at in Knoxville. I'm not as.
It's kind of over in the old city somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, you actually get off in the old city and go around over there. It's under you park under the overpass and you just walk right over to it.
I was about to say, ask him. It would put you in the mind of a place that I saw you at years ago for a shooter show. The City Hall.
Was it City Hall or City Limits?
No, City Hall.
City Hall.
Yep, City Hall.
I remember we saw Shooter's girlfriend there.
Drea.
I was more excited about seeing her than I was him at that moment because I really didn't know much about him.
Yeah, and
I was surprised at that old show, and I've told you this a billion times. I was expecting him to come out being traditional country, and he came out and he was like Eddie Van Halen on guitar. And I was like, wait, but the Oak Ridge Boys was there.
Right.
Oh, they did make an appearance that night, didn't they? Yep.
They come out and done Elvira and maybe one other one.
Well, the important part of that story was Drea DiMatteo.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, she's pretty. We can just look at her.
Yeah,
you know?
all night long. Yeah,
but there was a bunch from Cookeville. Sydney and all that bunch was there.
Mm-hmm. That was our thing for the longest. Me and Sydney found Shooter about the same time, so she was with us at several of the first. And she's
still a pretty big Shooter fan.
Yeah, me and her husband was actually supposed to go in April when he played the Nashville Palace. They just opened it back up, and we ended up not going. I saw her at Hooligans one day. And
TV show there once.
What kind of TV show?
A show called Singers, Songwriters, Etc.
Yeah, etc.
It was horrible. And they used to play it on Nashville, like regular, like WCTE is for us.
Yeah.
Some local thing. And it played all the time, and people would like, gosh, if you find it, if you find it, I don't want to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, if we can find that, we'll play that real quick.
It was a guy that
don't look like it made it to YouTube.
It was the guy that
put Nashville, Tennessee behind it. I'm sure that'll clear it up.
When we was when I was at Vinny T's, he would come and he was the guy that would sell them like napkins and limes and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
And him and his buddy started this. I don't remember the buddy's name. And they just had different people on come and sing a few different songs, original songs and stuff. But it was in the little side room of the Nashville Palace.
Huh. Where all have you played at? What's the big?
I don't know.
Everywhere.
No,
you play at Hard Rocks a lot, right?
Well,
yeah.
You've played some cool shows in Nashville. You've played at the Musician, the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that was when I was a kid. My first concert. Here's how it went down. Whitesnake was coming to Municipal.
Right.
1650. Dad was saying no chance. I'm letting my boys loose at a Whitesnake concert.
Right.
I'm freshman in high school, so we talked Granny into buying us tickets. And so it's all fine and dandy as long as we can get Dad to okay it.
All right.
Wasn't going to happen. So I took, if you remember in the Tennessean, they used to have a little postcard size things of what concert was coming. So I took it, and my dad was the principal at a elementary school. So I took it and put 4 on one page and just started copying it. And then I cut them up, and so everywhere Dad went, he saw Whitesnake. like Mom would make the bed, and I'd go put it on his pillow underneath it. So when he pulled down the covers, Whitesnake. And when he come in, I go put it in, and I was like,
yeah,
I'm not going to stop with this until you just say yes. And finally he's like, all right, if Granny's going to pay for him, you can go. But we're driving y'all down.
A little psychological warfare on the old pops.
There was no chance that I was not going to be there when Whitesnake come to Nashville. And it went on forever. It seemed like I just kept in. I was like, I'm not going to stop. You're just going to have to
let me go.
Let me in there.
Yeah.
And we went in there, and I remember Mom and Dad and Granny went, took us down there, me and Brad and Tom Gurnt, my buddy. And so it was just, of course, at 13 years old, you're like, this is the greatest day of my life. And then now you look back and go, what was my dad thinking letting a 13-year-old go to a Whitesnake concert?
Was that your first one?
That was the first one I really, really wanted to go. But my first concert ever was the Beach Boys at Civic Coliseum when I was 5 years old. And I still remember it, so much of it.
They were just in town last week with John Stamos. Yeah.
And then
with John Stamos.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, he's been in the band for
Uncle Jesse with the
20
Beach
years.
Boys. That's
Really?
real
Yeah.
stuff, man. Full house. It all comes full circle, brother.
He plays bongos.
I didn't know that was real.
Yeah,
I just thought that was part of the show.
In the is it Kokomo video?
Yeah,
he's in the video
Really?
playing bongos. Yeah,
Huh. Is that the only instrument that he plays?
he's Uncle Jesse, man. He
I
well,
was
he
saying-
played,
nothing else.
guitar on the TV show, didn't he?
Yeah,
I say, is that a little bit
Or
of
maybe
a,
it was fake. I
maybe
don't know.
it was a TV. I mean, I don't know.
But I remember. But right after that was when Alabama come to Cookeville,
Mm-hmm.
and we went,
Mm.
and that was me and Brad and Mom and Dad, and was like, greatest thing ever.
Yeah, at probably Memorial. Was it Memorial Gym or the Hoop?
No, it was at the Hoop.
Okay.
Mm.
I always tell the story of. I remember Jeff Cook, the guitar player, come out and he had a double neck white guitar, and we're like, "What is that?" It was the greatest thing on the planet. We didn't know what it was, and he come out and he had a Dr. Pepper, and he opened it, and he goes, "Phew," and he said, "Damn, that was good," or "Damn, that burns it going down," or something, and we was like, "Oh my God, he just cussed." And because we're 5-6 years old, little kids, and we're like going, "He cussed," and you still remember that stupid stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Oh, I thought you had a follow up. So we got sidetracked though. You talking about the Musicians Hall of Fame or the Hall of Fame?
Oh yeah, but that's where I saw Whitesnake
that is
at Municipal Auditorium in Nashville, and getting to play there, just to be in the same building of your first concert, you know, and getting to go, and like you're not in there in front of 5,000 people, which I didn't know that place only held 5,000 people.
that seems like a lot of people though.
But it looks so huge, and
Right.
I've seen so many big concerts and stuff there. And the same thing with like Civic Coliseum in Knoxville.
Mm-hmm.
You see those bands in there. There's 3,000, 4,000, but you think it's so much bigger, because you think arena.
I saw Eric Church at Civic Coliseum probably 10 years ago, probably 8 years ago. The Municipal, I've never saw a concert there because by the time I was already going, it was Bridgestone and whatever else.
Well, those seats there are, you can look at the seats and they're wood,
Yeah.
like baseball stadium seats, They're still that same way.
I saw like Handy Mandy and all that stuff. It was a Disney thing for Waylon when he was like,
Oh, I was going to
3.
say, I have no idea what
I
happened.
didn't know what it was either. I ain't got to that point yet. I don't guess.
Your wife does. She corrected me last week when I said it backwards. I said Mandy Handy or something. She's like, you mean Handy Mandy? I was like, yeah, that's what I thought I said. So you do play. You've played the Nashville scene a lot. I mean, you've had your fill of it.
We played everywhere in Nashville we wanted to play. Anyhow.
Yeah.
Have you done the Bluebird?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
one of my first shows.
That's cool.
I was 17, 18,
Really?
Yeah.
What year were you voted Nashville's best new artist?
2010.
2010. So how far into your career is 2010?
Well, if you're talking about
Actually, from the actual first show you played.
the first show I really played was, junior high school,
And what year would that have been?
1991.
Okay, so how does it feel to be from 91 to 2010 and
I'm
then
still playing the same songs.
and then them call you a new artist is what I'm getting at.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's
On the,
Nashville new artist.
Right.
That's of course that's. But they can say best new artist. I can say that tomorrow. Who's voting?
Right.
Nobody knows.
Right.
well, it's like you see some of these people that they've been established in the music business for years, and even on the scene for 2, 3, 4 years sometimes, and they're voted in the new artist category in the CMAs. And we're like, I've been seeing them for 5 years out here.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I think they said, but there was a time, probably early 2000s, where you'd have like artists be out 2 years with hits, and then they'd win the Horizon Award.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Why are you even nominated for this?
Yeah.
Now that was kind of in the thick of things in 2010. You were playing a lot because we were just talked about on the way over here when we were driving over here. We talked about running into you at somewhere.
I
For
started.
a show.
Was that when Joey Buck and them was still DJing there at Benny D's?
Oh man, I don't know. This was
Do you remember who the DJ was?
no.
Joey Buck and them was the first guys to really pack out Benny D's.
Okay.
And that's when, that's even before Vince owned it. It was it called the Clubhouse?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I come in and I play Wednesday nights, Friday nights, and Saturday nights. But on Fridays and Saturdays, I just played like 11 or something. And then they started DJing after that.
Yeah.
And it was, but at that point, I would have to go do sound check like at 10 o'clock in the day because by 6 o'clock, I'm not getting my gear in there.
Really?
Oh, it was nuts.
Huh.
But that was...
Manny T's was the spot. Like when I moved to Cookeville, that was the best place in Cookeville.
Yeah, but that shit only lasted till like 2005. It went dead in there for a minute.
Yeah.
The whole time that Joey Buck and all those guys was DJing, they really... Well, Dean, you remember Dean that owned it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When Dean owned it and Joey Buck and them was... they had Buck Sound and they was DJing there. It was nuts. I mean, there would be people 45 minutes waiting to get in.
Holy crap.
Yeah. I mean, all the way to the haircutting place. And then they would just sit there, and when one person go out, then...
Another one
you'd have to wait. I remember you having to wait. I remember the first like Christmas party I went to there, and we went in the basement. And everybody was playing down there.
Oh, yeah, I played the basement.
Yeah, I do think it was a fraternity thing, and I think you might have been playing that one.
Which fraternity was you?
Phi Delta.
Did I play your places?
You had that shirt on in the pictures. You had a bunch of Phi Delta shirts on.
Yeah.
That's what's funny because
I was playing a Rush in that picture.
Yeah. See, it's funny because we crossed paths so many times before. I know we spoke and everything, but
that was the blue and white shirt.
Yeah.
Yep. And I was playing that Blonde Ovation.
So I know we crossed paths for years before we even got to being friends.
And I remember I played outside on the
back patio.
The back patio.
Yeah.
And everybody was down playing volleyball.
Yeah.
Behind it.
Yeah. I wished I could go back to those days sometimes.
You couldn't survive now.
Oh man, I try. I would try. I'm glad
none of us could survive what we done then.
Well, I'm just so.
I don't even want to now.
I'm just so glad there's no Facebook. There was no Facebook. Stupid.
Do you remember when that started coming out? I can still remember hearing about Facebook. Yeah,
I remember where I was at. And this is weird, and I have no idea why I remember it. Jessica McDuffie, our friend from here, we were walking. I can't remember what I done. I don't remember what I ate for supper on Monday night. But we were walking to El Tap on Willow, and Jessica McDuffie calls like, "You and Lindsay need to get this Facebook." But I wasn't in college at the time, and I couldn't get it because you had to have
a EDU.
Yeah, you had to have a college sign in. And I went back to Vol State the only reason I went back to college so I can get Facebook.
That's horrible.
No, I'm kidding. But
was Hastings in yours?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. All right. Jessie, that he married.
Yeah.
She's the one I first heard about Facebook through because her sorority or whatever
Phi
she was
Mu,
in,
I think, wasn't she?
I don't know.
I believe so.
But you had to have an email address that was tied to a university before you could even have one at that point. And she had one, and she was talking about it, and I was going, I don't know what that is. Yeah. She's like, it's kind of like MySpace, but it's not music, and it's more just people who hang out at school, you know?
Yeah, and it's so funny when I get
but
memories.
She was the first one I ever heard say something about
it. When you see memories, and, everything's pretty clean now that, everybody's third grade teacher and everybody's grandma and stuff gets on Facebook. But, man, if you find memories from my friends talking to me on my wall, when people used to actually still write on people's walls, Dustin Thompson from Salina was the worst because he'd call me everything but a white man. And every variation of the F word you could. He had every in a verb, noun, everything, adjectives. But then Corey Gibson, Corey Gibson from back in the day.
Corey with a K.
That sounds familiar. Oh, yeah.
I saw her not too long ago, and I was like, wow. I said, do you remember calling me a blankety blank on my Facebook wall in 2007? She's like, oh my God, I cringe every time I was going up there. I was like, but nobody could see it back then much. I mean, other than people your age.
Man, the ability to post pictures as quickly as you can now. We cleaned out part of my garage the other day and went back through and found the pictures from us standing on the coffee tables and stuff, which they're all destroyed now. But
you tore them up?
I did. They're gone. They actually went through a shredder. But yeah,
it must have been really bad if you're really getting that far with.
Oh, there's only one. Go ahead and finish.
Well, that picture, the one we was talking about the other day, nuts. Yeah, the nuts on the shoulder. That picture was there, and
my friend JD, who was Josh Dodd, he was a
Here's a Fidel. Yeah.
He takes a picture. We had this world famous coffee table that we would always sing in my apartment on 3rd Street. He and I lived in apartments across in the same complex.
Y'all talked about this before on the show?
Yeah.
Were y'all talking about y'all would sit on it and play video games or something?
Well, that was during at 2 o'clock.
Yeah. Seemed like I remember this.
But this one, like we didn't even care. Like, here we're 19, 20 years old, and you think you're worried about girls and trying to go get girls, and we're like 8 deep. Me, Lucas, Cucumber, Brad, AJ, Fraley, JD,
Ben was in there,
and we're singing Hank Jr. at the top of our lungs at 2 o'clock in the morning on this coffee table.
Check this out. In his little, 600-800 square foot apartment, whatever it was, I had bought. I was a speaker head whenever I was younger, so I had 2 JBL stacks that had a 12 in each one of them, a 10 in each one of them, a tweet, and then like I don't know, it's probably like a 4 in there, and it was real nice. Real nice setup. Had 2 of those, and then a big head unit pushing it. We'd have that. It would start out kind of low in that apartment, and then it would just start pushing it, as the night went on. So the crackhead next door called the cops on us. They had aluminum foil over their windows, where they was in there cooking meth and stuff, and then they'd call the cops on us at 2 o'clock in the morning because the music was too loud.
Ain't like their asses was asleep in no way.
They was literally, at that point, they were literally the only people in the adjoining apartments that were not involved in the party at some point. And so it was kind of hard for them to say, no, it wasn't us, because they're the only people that wasn't there at some point.
Where was your apartment at in Cookeville?
497 West 3rd Street.
West 3rd.
It's like right behind Crack Alley.
Yeah, it's over in Gangsta Town.
Right behind the co-op.
Yeah. Yeah. You know where Wendy's is at?
Yeah.
2 streets back, directly behind it.
But let me tell you something.
You could have got cut back there.
Yeah.
We had
and still probably can't.
Yeah. But I drove through there the other day.
I ain't walking through there at night on
Man still get stabbed over there.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I had my 4-wheeler. I used to race 4-wheelers, and I had it on the back of my truck, and I was washing it because I was going to a race, And this little kid rode through on a bicycle. I bet he was 7-year-old, real slow. He said, "What are you doing with my 4-wheeler?" And just kept riding it. I said, get out of here. And he goes, "I'll have that tonight." And I thought, I'm gonna stomp this kid out right here. He's trash talking me. He never did even get mad. He just slow rolled out of the parking lot.
Come on, Debo. My grandma give me that chain.
but then you're going to get a chain to chain it up because he's coming back.
I brought that shit home. I thought his dad or his big brother going to come get it, so I brought it back home.
Those were the best parties that we would have. We knew everybody back then. We had people from Hermitage Springs, Salina, Macon County, Tompkinsville, Kentucky, Cookeville. People I played ball against, Lucas played ball against. We would pack out 60, 70 people easy.
Oh, easy.
In those little 3-bedroom apartments.
Yeah.
Was y'all ever in Cookeville when the Matrix was open?
The Matrix?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've heard of that one.
Oh, the Matrix was the greatest place ever. You know Ronnie Reels?
I do, yeah.
Ronnie had the Matrix, which ended up being Cisco's.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And it had the greatest sound system, light system.
It was nice in there at one point, yeah.
Unbelievable. And he would get national acts in there. Mm-hmm. I mean, we saw a lot of cool people.
Yeah.
Got to open up for a lot of people. But we was young. We was 19.
Yeah.
So that made Brad like 17, 16, somewhere in there. And we begged him to let us play. And he was like, "Nah, I'm just getting these national acts." He wasn't letting really anybody from Cookeville play. Smart idea. But we all just got out of high school. So all of our bunch, well, me and Brad was in the band from York, and then the other 2 guys were from Livingston. So everybody was at Cookeville. It was the perfect storm. And I was like, "No, just let us have it." I was like, "We'll play for the door." But I said, no matter how many we get, we still get the door.
Right.
Because I was like, I think we can get a bunch.
Yeah.
And it was like, charge $5.
Yeah.
1,000 people.
Oh.
And we was making all kinds of money.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, what's going on here?" He goes, "I'm paying $5,000 for these bands to come in and barely make it even. And then you guys come in there and it's not costing me anything.
Yeah.
Just give you the door."
Yeah.
But the Matrix was unbelievable.
Now, what year would that have been? Because I went in there in like 98. And I would say 98, it was already Cisco's.
98 was already Cisco's.
Yeah, 98, 99.
What was you doing in there in '98?
Oh, they had a fantastic
Hustling?
billiards and stuff, and they used to sell pool cues. It was about the only place around that you could go buy high level pool cues.
I thought you was in there hustling somebody like
I went in there
Roy
and
Munson and somebody.
I went in there and bought a real nice McDermott 3-piece pool cue in 98 or 99.
It was a ton. I mean, big high stage.
Yeah.
Dressing rooms, and I mean, it was awesome. We loved it. I mean, but I would just go in with my guitar and go, all right, good.
Yeah, all right.
And I was like, you got us? And they're like, yeah. Done. And that still to this day, when somebody from Cookeville, they're like, can you come play this for us? I go, Ronnie runs sound. Because he runs sound for everything in Cookeville. I'm like, all right, we're good. And then Ronnie will do the same thing. He's like, oh, Rain's playing? Ain't working. We'll get it.
How bad does it suck to see the way that Cisco's building is now? I mean, that building is falling apart.
Is it really?
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Man, when that place was open, it was a gold mine.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Well, and they turned it into like CB's Billiards or something after Cisco's. You know, it was something else even after that.
Well, if you ever notice on the back of Cisco's, halfway down the side, in the back, there's another block wall. And that was because the sound. The building was so loud that it was going back the wrong way. And those, remember they had them trailer park
back behind it,
apartments up back. They was hearing it, but they was hearing it at Tech.
Right.
It was
it
was that great.
I would say if it made it that far, it was cranking.
Yeah.
It
was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we loved it. I mean, it was our playground.
Right.
And I have such good memories about that place because it's kind of where me and Brad
learned to play, right?
Yeah, we cut our teeth about, this is how you got to keep a band for 4 hours.
Right.
You know, you can't be taking breaks. You know, you can't play slow songs.
Right.
You got to keep them up for 4 hours or they're going to go home.
Yeah.
And
you got to drive people.
And that's a whole different learning.
And you got to give them breaks to go to the bar, but you can't have them too long. Yeah.
It was a eye-opening for us.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you got to, and I think that's all. Yeah, that place was why we had to learn so many avenues of music where you go, all right, we're going to be, and at that time we wanted to be a country band.
Right.
But we was playing Jackal.
Right.
You know, same time. Because we had to jump to that stuff, go, all right, if you'll hang with me, every third song you're probably going to like.
Yeah.
No matter what you was doing. And it kind of worked for us. And, you know, we was playing Play Walker and then we played AC/DC, you know.
Yeah.
But we had to be all over the map to do it. And that's been some of our success about playing around town at Cookeville, because if they come in there and say, well, I don't like country, all right, I got you in the next song you might like, you know. But you have to do that, especially in Cookeville. Cookeville's the craziest about.
Yeah.
Got to be all over the map with a band.
You know, and that leads to great music too. Because are you familiar with the Beatles' story of when they were in Russia and having to play so much?
No.
I believe it was Russia. They were having to play like 10, 12 hours at a time and played for 150 nights in a row. And then they'd leave and they'd come back and play for like 100, played 100 and something other nights, and they'd play 6-8 hours in a row all night long.
Well, it's almost the opposite of Van Halen. They had like 7 songs, and they just played them over and over.
Right.
And he goes, we just start making up the words so we could say it was a different song.
All right. Well, they said, you know, the Beatles, when they'd go over there, you know, you're messing with some gangsters when you go over there. And so they were expected to play, you know, spot on and this and that, and then play and keep everybody going for that long. But then, like, whenever they left London first and went there, you know, they were just kind of they were just getting their feet under them. You know, they kind of knew how to play their instruments and stuff. But that first time they come back to London, that's when they said that everybody went, oh, these guys have put in their time. They've really been practicing. And I may be getting some of the, I'm reading a book called Outliers right now, and they're part of it. They're in the book.
But that's what you got to do.
That's what you got to do. Yeah. That's talking about getting your 10,000 hours in, right? You know, and then, but they was talking about.
That's really, really true.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I have no idea how many hours I got, but it's not enough.
Well, you know, and then they say it, you know, at some level, it's everybody's got talent.
Yeah.
It's that time that you put in that makes you that much better.
I believe that 100%. And I also believe that, you know, you can take any band and I think you can kind of make them what they need to be.
Yeah.
No matter what, regardless of talent.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen that a billion times on radio right now.
Yeah.
But the whole kicker is, are they what they want to be?
Right.
And me and DK's talked about this a billion times about, I don't like that band.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm that band, I'm not sure that I'm not going to have to do the same thing they're doing just to be relevant.
Yeah.
In music today.
And the thing...
Everybody loved to be Jason Isbell.
Yeah, right.
But
everybody loved to be Jason Eady, too, and going out and doing their own thing. But the thing is this is something that I've been thinking about lately is some of those kids that is what they like. Some of those kids they're doing what they want to do, whether I like it or not, or whether I think it's derivative or whatever. Some of those kids like that.
Why do you think they like it?
Because that's what they grew up with, because everybody's doing, well, not everybody, saying all or anything's wrong, but, some of those kids grew up listening to rap. Some of those kids grew up listening to this other stuff and, have poppy influences and stuff like that. They just like it. It's catchy. It's what they like to do. And so some of them, they go out there and that is what it is.
Well, I was the same kid. I mean, I grew up with totally loving Run DMC and Beastie Boys.
Yeah, right.
LL Cool J.
Yeah.
Crazy about them.
There's room for it.
Yeah.
Just not in the country music. Right, my point.
Well, they should call it something else besides country.
That's the whole thing. That's the only thing me and you are mad about.
Yeah.
We're mad about the name of it.
The name of it.
I'm not.
That's exactly
If you
right.
change it and go, no, this is Southern pop. It's not country.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that.
If you call that, then
I don't even care.
Then we have nothing to fuss about anymore.
It could be on the same station as long as they said, yes, Southern pop.
And then you get to the same point of being at the CMAs or CMT Awards and whatever, and going, now here's the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
I'm going, wait just a second.
Why? When there's so many talented musicians that could be taking that time slot on a country music show.
Yeah. And Taylor Swift, I've talked about her a bunch of times. Like, she's one of the ones that I say she's doing what she wants to do, and that's her thing because, she was out there doing country, but really, and she was regarded as a fantastic country musician at that point in time, but then swapped over to pop because that is what she wanted to do. But, she swapped genres too.
But she done the exact same thing that Garth done.
Right.
Because she said, I'm just going to play my music. Mm-hmm. Garth said, no, I'm country.
Right.
And they both went their right way.
Mm-hmm.
They should have went.
Right.
But neither one of them lied about what they wanted to be.
Right.
She didn't go, nah, I'm going to be country. And knowing that she's putting a drum machine in, and somebody featuring a rap song in the middle of it, And that's, I think if you're kind of purist with the country stuff, which I'm not 100% purist with it, but you kind of feel like you're getting shafted a little bit when
right now,
when somebody comes out and here's the rap lead in it, you're like, wait just a second.
I haven't mentioned this on here before, but I've got to. I love Garth Brooks.
Me too.
What's your take on what was it? Chris Gaines? Is that what he called himself? At one point? What's your take on what that was? Him trying to find himself? Is that what that was?
I think it was a little ahead of its time myself.
I think it was a horrible idea.
It was a horrible idea.
But let me tell you what, that was a great album.
Mm-hmm.
I know every song on that album.
Right.
You're not going to find a bigger Garth fan.
No, you won't find a big Garth fan. But let me tell you this. If he would have just owned it and said, Garth's going to do a rockish album, people would probably still love that album.
Yeah, that they would. And I'm assuming you've got his new box set, the one that...
It'll be here in the morning.
Well, when from his... what he did at the Win, he's got all his other songs and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That is a fantastic.
I loved it.
I loved it.
I mean,
I love the video of him doing all of his medleys and all that. I love every bit of it.
Or Steve Wynn, the guy who was Wynn, but he had Bette Midler come the trial run.
Mm-hmm.
They gave away tickets, and it was Steve Wynn and Bette Midler sitting there, and he done that show.
Yeah,
and she's like. He goes, now I want to know what you think.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, that was brilliant. She goes, I don't even know who Garth Brooks really is, but I was like, but that's the beauty of those songs because they're storytelling songs. And that's what I think you're missing in country music now is storytelling. And, I grew up with, when I decided I wanted to be a writer, I wanted to write stuff that kind of punch you in the heart a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I don't get that from anybody in country boy.
Right.
The women are
the women are killing.
The women
right now.
are kicking everybody's butt,
and
have been for 10
a long
years.
time. Yeah,
probably 10 years.
Yeah,
and I just don't have no. I just don't see it. We was talking about Jason Isbell. He's got that line in that song, and he's talking about there can't be more of them than me that like that kind of stuff.
Right.
You just can't be.
Right.
Because I think you got to be accountable as a listener.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what most of the people in, buying popular music they don't care.
Right.
They're just like, oh, I'll listen to whatever. And they're kind of fly by, seat of your pants kind of thing. But I think as a listener, you should have hold some accountability going, you didn't write that. You didn't play that.
Yeah.
Why am I listening?
Well, that's the I liken it to knowledge versus wisdom.
Right.
Because they're obviously knowledgeable about the lyrics. They're knowledgeable about music to some degree, or at least the people that are producing the music are. So they put all the right marks, all the right checks, and all the right boxes, but it just doesn't feel like they know it. They don't feel like they've got any wisdom around it. I don't feel it coming from them.
I don't think they're knowledgeable about the lyrics because it's the same song recycled.
Yeah.
Everything on Music Row right now is the same.
Have you seen that thing about, and it's got Tony Brown in it? You know who Tony Brown is?
Mm-mm.
Tony Brown is, he was the piano player for Elvis, but he's more famous for being the producer of Travis Tritt and Zach Brown and everybody.
Right.
Big. But there's a documentary, and he's talking about, he goes, every day I come in and I hear something about a sugar shaker, put your feet on my dash, stuff.
Yeah.
And he goes, and I say no to it. And I did. But then when it comes to that quarter report, and they go, you didn't hit your numbers.
Yeah.
Then he goes, all right. So when those bands come in and say, I'm going to do that, I'm like, yep, green light it.
Yeah.
And he goes, but then when you hear Zach Brown comes in with Colder Weather and he wants it to be a single, he goes, you have to figure out what you can fight for.
Right.
And he goes, with that song, I went, that's going to be such a
monster
and I can't get away with that any other time, but I can get about 1 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, so you kind of got to do it just to hit your numbers.
Yeah.
But you got to find where your heart's at every once in a while, and you kind of balance it out. But I don't think there's anybody involved in that stuff who goes, that's a good song.
Right.
I don't.
They're just looking for the paycheck, and
they're looking for the was that box checked?
Yeah. It makes me think of course, I'm a Kiss fan too.
Mm-hmm.
But back in the day when disco got big, Kiss done "I Was Made for Loving You," straight up disco song, and Paul Stanley went, I can have a hit with this. I can write this crap in my sleep. And he did. And they had a huge hit. And, of course, everybody that's a Kiss fan hates that song.
Right.
But he goes, shoot, that bought me 3 more houses, you know. Right. And he goes, kept us out on when we couldn't sell a record. And now we're selling a bunch. And that's where you can't get mad at people like Florida Georgia Line and those guys because they're just wanting to stay out there. You know.
Well, they got bills to pay too, right?
When you get the keys to the kingdom, you got a $6 million house.
Yeah.
You got to stay out there, you know? And that's the way to do it.
I
don't know that I wouldn't do it either. You know?
Right, yeah.
Talk about pop country, and everybody's acting like it's kind of a newer thing, you know, and I'm not saying I like Garth also.
Yeah, but he's a little poppy at one point in time, right? Especially in his era.
Well, he's really the one, if you really take it back, okay, Florida Georgia Line, Sam Hunt, working backwards, Thomas Rhett, blah, 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 Kenny Chesney. Before Kenny Chesney, Garth is really the one that turned everybody into amphitheaters, kind of rock.
You know what changed that? One thing changed that. It was, they never, in country music, remember what SoundScan was? Mm-hmm. Where you go into, remember the Sound Shop in the Cookeville Mall?
Oh, yeah.
You put in the...
So when you went in there, all the rock albums, that got into a computer and got counted. Country albums never got that till Garth Brooks.
Oh, really?
Garth Brooks made them count it because they never sold enough to care. Garth went, no. And so he already sold 1 million records and didn't get on there and still has all that sales. So he was the first one to change country getting counted.
Well, I think they can appreciate now what he done.
Yeah, but
everything.
But also in the same fact, do you think that Garth with his style of music, do you think that I shouldn't be mad at Florida Georgia Line because of what they're doing, because Garth done it before them, because I still think Garth has good songs.
Oh, I'm not trying to compare. I'm opening it up to at the time. Here's my point.
Yeah, everybody in country music thought he was the devil.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Waylon Jennings, who of course I'm a huge Waylon Jennings fan. He had that quote.
Yeah, it says something about Garth. Yeah, I remember.
It was something. I can't remember the exact quote. It was something about fingering. It was a find it. It's kind of a crude. And even it lasted with Shooter because when they done a documentary with Shooter when he first came out in 05. And he's at the Country Music Hall of Fame, and he's like, "Oh, there's my dad's bus for the Hall of Fame." He's like, "You know what they call when they called and said, hey, Waylon, we're putting you in the Hall of Fame?" He's like, "Who gives a shit?" Then there's a picture of Garth flying. He goes, "Oh, look, it's Garth Vader," you know. But at the time, yeah, he was the devil. Proceed on 30 years from now, and he's pretty country. Same thing with Kenny Chesney. I said, "Man, 2004, and this is a throwback."
I never been crazy Kenny Chesney fan.
Well, at times I was his early stuff.
But
first four records.
I do think his songs are good because those 4 hitmen wrote most of everything he done, and those guys can write. But now they're writing to a formula too. They're going. Yeah. I mean, when you have one of the best songs I thought that's been out in a long time as far as a good story song was, and this has been about when it changed, was when Keith Urban had the song
Cop Car?
Summer Comes Around.
Okay.
And then right after that, Luke Brown had a song called Roller Coaster. Both of them was about amusement parks. And I'm going, wait, we ain't had a song about roller coasters since back in the day, and now you've got 2 back to back. And then it just, whatever one done.
Yeah, it's copycat.
Yeah.
And Kenny Chesney at the time, it's one of my oldest quotes for this show, goes back to probably the first 10 shows that we have. And Kenny Chesney in 04, I thought, man, in 05, it's kind of started going downhill. Because I was into the Kenny Chesney in 01. Some of my fondest memories was being in A.J. Craggett's truck, us riding around drinking beer, listening to the Greatest Hits album, first summer I ever got out.
You say these people like I know them, and I feel like I do.
Right.
A.J.
That's one of my, I'll tell you what, my God. But that's one of my fondest memories is going back
to idea who that is.
That Greatest Hits album. But then, like, fast forward 5 or 6 years when he started going downhill, and I thought, man, he's ruining country music. But then 10 more years, 12 more years later, and I said, Sam Hunt's making Kenny Chesney look like David Allan Coe. Yeah. Kenny Chesney was a badass compared to these guys now.
Have you heard how Kenny Chesney got his record deal?
I don't think so.
Has
it got anything to do with the reason why he got a divorce?
No.
Okay.
No. He, that's a whole different. But his whole deal was he was writing, and they said, all right, we'll give you a single. If it goes top 40, we'll give you an album. So he done it. It went top 40.
Mm-hmm.
That can't remember that song, but he had a UT jersey on the video. That one of the first ones ever. Something about a billboard.
I don't even know.
Something about a billboard. He done that. And then the next one, he got it top 40. Next one, so his first 4 songs went top 40 and didn't have an album.
Really?
That's a rarity, especially at that time. So finally, they just said,
we got to give the kid an album.
Well, I mean, it's already sold now. You know, just put 6 more junkers on there.
And here's this quote from Waylon Jennings about Garth Brooks, and it's pretty vulgar. Garth Brooks did for country music what pantyhose did for finger effing.
Yeah, I never got that. I don't know what that means really. Me and Chris Raines have sat in Woolly Bullies many nights saying, "I'm a Garth." He's like, "I'm a Garth fan. You're a Waylon fan. Tell me what the hell this means."
I would say I don't get it. I've been sitting here trying to put it together while I apologize for not being in more than that conversation, but I was trying to even make that make sense in my head.
But I'll tell you this: back in the day when Garth came out, I didn't think he was the front runner of the bunch. I thought it was Travis Tritt.
Yeah,
and I thought he was going to be our next Hank Williams Jr. Because he was the beer drinker, bar guy,
right?
Great guitar player.
Yeah.
You know, he was that kind of guy. And Garth was the acoustic guy.
Yeah,
you know, but I think it 100% was his choice of releases. It kept being slow songs. You know, if he kept doing those fast bar songs, he would have been that. I think he would have been that Hank Williams Jr., you know, follow right behind him kind of guy.
You know, the thing about Garth Brooks is, though, there has not been anybody that puts on a show like him.
And you know what surprises me more than anything when we talk about repetition with country music? Why aren't they trying to rip it to be another Garth? There's not been one guy to go, all right, I'm going to try to be Garth.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah. You know, and the way Garth runs around on stage and his presence on the stage.
But there's 700 Kenny Chesneys. You know, yeah.
Right. You know, the way Garth runs around on stage, there's nobody puts on a show like that. I mean, even that Florida Georgia line and all that junk, you know, they're different. You know, they don't just stand behind a mic stand, but all they do is stand behind the mic.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody who personally talks to the crowd while he's doing it, has a big time. It's a party.
Who have you ever seen ride the stage that the drummer's riding on up in the air and singing into the microphone?
Well, there you go. Who's ever had a drum kit that
flies into there?
That was just not a regular drum kit.
Right.
Could you see Garth Brooks with a man bun and capri pants? The way Florida Georgia Line runs around the stage.
But I think when you're talking about those guys and you talk about Garth, I think there's going to come a day when you go, who?
Yeah, right.
I think, well,
I hope
it ain't gonna happen.
Right.
I don't think it's gonna. I mean, I think that there's gonna come a day when songs like "The Dance" and "The River" and all that stuff are gonna have its, and probably already did. But I don't see any song of theirs. You go, oh, I can't live without that song.
You're right.
You know,
yeah.
Garth's albums are going to be selling.
Oh, absolutely.
I sat in Bridgestone with God knows how many people was in Bridgestone, and every song that Garth Brooks sang, every person in the crowd sang it back to him.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening that's early 90s, so what's that, almost 30 years? 30 years, that's not happening in the Florida Georgia Line.
No. Well, we can't say that.
If it is, I'm going to be even crabby old son of a bitch 30 years from now. Damn,
we'll be having this conversation at
I'll be going,
show
can you
number
believe that
10,000 going, it's still the same.
Yeah.
You bring him up. I for my money, Travis Tritt's the most probably underappreciated country music singer.
And Clint Black.
Oh, Clint Black.
That old bunch.
Oof.
Clint Black and Alan Jackson. All four of those guys was that the class of the 90s?
It's the 89 class. Approaching this will be the 30th anniversary coming up.
But see, those guys, they got it. And they was all songwriters. All of them. Well, Travis kind of was. But all those guys was phenomenal.
Clint Black's voice, too. Oof.
Clint Black has wrote every song he recorded except for one.
No kidding. Which one was it?
Killing Time?
No.
What?
Whenever he recorded on that Eagles tribute.
Oh, the Desperado.
That's the only song. Yeah, it's the only song he's ever recorded that he didn't write.
Really?
You know,
and the sole writer, not collaborating, nothing.
Huh.
Stone Cold Steve Austin tweeted me one time. Tweeted me back. I'm not tweeting him a lot, but he was just taking a Q&A one time. I said, best beer drinker or best beer drinking song. He said, Killing Time, Clint Black, 100%.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he said that's his favorite beer drinking song.
But you're talking about those guys, and not far from where we're sitting here, I think Deerwood Amphitheater.
Yeah, just right over the hill. Yeah.
12 years old, I saw Steve Wariner.
Steve Wariner.
Who was with him at that point?
Holly Dunn.
Huh.
And some guy Cotton somebody, and he was a former legislator or something, but he done stand-up kind of thing.
Oh.
Huh.
But I saw him there.
Huh.
I've got pictures of Steve Wariner on the stage that day, and my Aunt Ola, she would sit there on call the phones, trying to win stuff. So she won like 6 tickets, but she had bad health and she couldn't go because it was like 100-degree heat, that day. And I remember me and Brad, Mom, and our cousins went, and we sat there, and I was like, I didn't know who he really was. I knew the song "The Weeknd." Remember the song "The Weeknd"? Mm-hmm. So I got there, and I was like, "This is unbelievable." Of course, I was crazy about Bon Jovi, Poison, and that kind of stuff. Got there, and I was like, "I know every song. I've heard it."
Yeah.
And so I went up there, and I was like, I saw he had pics. I went, I just starting in guitar right there, And he had a thumb pick, and he flipped it, and I went, "No." I want one like this. It's got his name on it,
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, he had to wait till the song's over because he had to use it.
So I'm gonna credit Steve Warner for all of the guitar picks that I've had through because this is a guy who's a guitar pick connoisseur. Like I've got Pilots, Goons.
Oh no, there's no time. There's a girl in Jamestown, and she's got her bathroom mirror, and she's got like a double sink, and she just sticks them in the frame of the mirror, and it's all Chris Raines, all my stupid
She signed
band,
up for the fan club.
all my stupid band. She made us a thing like she got all of like 1 year. And put our picture in it, and then glued them on. Had Brad's drumsticks on it. We got to hang it up in the house right
That's
now.
hilarious. I seen Willie Nelson over here at that amphitheater whenever I was like 6.
T. Graham Brown over there.
Yeah, I was like
Delbert McClinton over there.
6-year-old, and I remember him singing. It's like you're saying, those little things stick out in your head. He sung "Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys," but then he sung the last verse, "Mama, don't let your cowboys grow up to be babies," and the whole crowd. I just remember the whole crowd going, "Ah, ha, ha, ha," and everybody clapping. And
you talking about going with your family? It kind of puts me to remind some of my favorite albums are live albums, acoustic albums. And Cody Canada from Cross County Ragweed, I'm a big fan of. He said the first time he ever saw a guy that he never had heard of, he said, phone rung, Dad said, "Who? Who? Who in the hell's that? George who? George Strait? Carol-Ann. You want to go see George Strait?" Said, go up here to Buck Owens' place, eat a steak, fall asleep. He said, "George Strait." He said, "Man," he said, I found George Strait. He said, "Then I found Dwight Yoakam. Then I found Todd Snyder." He said, "Then I found myself." And he said, which I've never put Cody Canada as a George Strait fan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
And I talked to him.
I wouldn't have thought
never. I mean, because he's like a rock guy, But
I saw them at Bonnaroo.
Yeah, I saw you guys there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So,
Did you play Bonnaroo?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you run into him. I thought, damn.
we were just on shrooms.
Yes, I played Bonnaroo.
Yeah.
We were just on shrooms walking around together. That's not true. 100% not true for anybody listening. Neither one of us were. Or at least I wouldn't. I don't know. I can't speak for Chris. He didn't need it.
I don't know that I've ever seen a shroom.
You're seeing words, hearing colors.
Yeah.
But anyway, that just made me
I
think
did see
of it.
them at that thing at Tech that
That's it?
time.
Yeah.
They was drunk.
Yeah, they were drunk.
I've never seen a band that drunk on stage.
Really? Well, I tell you what was that was
They was mad, you could tell.
That was in March or April of 2010. They broke up because Bonnaroo was June that year, and then they broke up in October. Their last show was in Chicago in October 2010, and they hated each other by that point. I mean, hated each other. And they were supposed to go. Char had paid for the after party, and Cody's on stage going, "Where the hell's a good place to go?" And everybody said Spanky's. I'm like, "No, don't take him to the douchery Spanky's. Cody Canada's going to hate that." And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "Oh, damn, there he is." And he walks in.
Oh, I think I remember you telling me this.
Well, it was one of those deals where it was two for one shots, And I said, and there was 5 of us with us. And I said, "Cody, do you want one of these Jaeger bombs?" He goes, "F that, I'm drinking tequila." And he was sitting there waiting on his tequila shots.
But I remember that night I saw the guitar player had a red Firebird with gold hardware. Mm-hmm. And I told Brad, I was like, "We got to find me one of those." And looked forever. And Brad found it on Craigslist or something. And it's some guy in Kentucky. And it was the night before we played our first show at the Hard Rock in Nashville. I posted the picture today, or yesterday. But I was like going, Brad goes, "It looks great." And I was like, the guy needed it right before Christmas. He was trying to sell some of his guitars for Christmas money. And I said, "All right." I said, "What do you want for it?" And he said, $300. I went, "Okay."
Yeah.
And so I met him in Salina at the Dairy Queen. And we're sitting there we have flashlights, making sure it wasn't cracked or it wasn't fake or nothing. And I was like, one of the greatest buys I've ever had in my life. Still got it. I play that thing. I love that.
How much was the value on that thing? Probably.
Couple thousand.
You got $300.
$300.
I see. That's.
I've got one that I paid $150. That's probably worth $20,000. It's a Paul Stanley prototype guitar. I bought it in a mom and pop shop in Rockwood, Tennessee.
You get some deals around here. People will need some dope money. He might have said it was Christmas money. That boy needed some dope money, and he was. There was one cat one time. He hit me up and he said, DK, I just got kicked out of my apartment. Old lady kicked me out. I need you to buy this TV, this futon, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I need some money. I said, I don't need any of that. He goes, dude, I got to have a little money, get on my feet, and start getting an apartment. And I said, all right, what do you want? He goes, $80. I said, all right, I'll take it for $80. Went up to his work. And he goes, yeah, they just come and bought a Oxy 80. He spent that $80 on one pill. Same guy that got busted on probation said, don't give me no lines and keep your pot to yourself. Funny line from a dope head there. You guys ham it up. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Let's just take a quick break.
Okay.
Hey guys, Lucas here. If you're enjoying the show, please make sure you're subscribed to it on whichever podcasting site you're using. Click like, leave us a rating, and a comment if you have a few minutes to spare. Don't forget you can reach out to us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at OLR Podcast.
I can play a snippet or something.
All right, we're back. We're trying to talk Brad and... shit. I was...
See, you done the same thing about your brother.
Yeah.
Don't disparage the good damn name of Chris Raines. Bringing up Brad Raines. I can't believe he didn't come.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I told you that he would be back in time, but then I realized it's Wednesday and he got off early, and I was going, you going to come? Nope.
He just ain't about the spotlight, is he?
No, does not care at all.
Yeah. So what I was trying to say is we're trying to talk Chris into singing a few songs for us.
All right, I got a few.
Yeah, let's see what we got here.
This is a new one. I don't think we barely ever played this one. I don't know if we ever really have the full band. I'll play a little snippet of it. 'Cause a dream ever kissed your lips. Just a Babylon Jezebel, should've never loved you like I did. I got this motorcycle wound out in the wind. Middle finger in the air, the summer on my skin. How many deals you made unmade for the band? Your bedroom's a parade of losers. Let your daughter call him dad. One day you're gonna look down, find your heart is gone. All them boys will be lined up, different girl in a different song. You wake up Sunday morning, cursed by Saturday night. Pretending all your choices made exactly right. Make deals with the devil, singing in a hallelujah choir. Tell me how it feels to be baptized in the lake of fire. Snippet.
That's pretty good, man. You played that one live yet?
I think I've played it by myself, but not with the band.
Right.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's sometimes, no offense to the band, sometimes I like to catch the old Chris Raines acoustic
Me too, because
shows.
I don't like Brett or Brian.
Yeah.
Anytime I can get them off the stage.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I do enjoy like the hard rock when Brad has to go pee.
Yeah.
And then they'll go, all right, I'll go too.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
I'll just keep them warmed up while you guys are gone.
That happens. That reminds me of
7 songs later.
Y'all guys just hang on. I'll be done in a minute.
That reminds me of Eric Church's shows when he does the whole set acoustic.
I saw Eric Church at the Sin the first night it opened, and he played acoustic.
Yeah, it's badass, isn't it?
It was great.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really. Brad went to Bob Seger.
Yeah.
100 years ago. He was nobody. Nobody knew who he was. And he opened up for Bob Seger at Bridgestone.
Yeah.
Because somebody canceled and Brad goes, it was great.
He's awesome.
But then the Mackeys ruined it for me.
Yeah.
Every 2 seconds, Range, you got to learn this one.
Oh, I guarantee it. Yeah. Yeah. No, I remember that actually. What else you want to play for us?
I don't care.
I bought one of your albums. It had Someday Rose and California. Was the California one? I'm sorry, I forgot the name of
California.
it. Your California?
Yeah.
I love California and Someday Rose. Those are my 2 favorites.
Do you know where I got the idea for California?
Mm-mm.
Have you ever seen the movie?
Californication?
No. Almost Famous.
Oh, yeah.
You know when he looks at the guy and he goes, just tell her it's not California without you.
All right.
And I went, I was laying in bed 2:30 in the morning. I went, gotta write this. And I totally took that line and just made it something stupid. But yeah, that's where that line came from.
Well, my wife and I drove through California. We're down the coast of California, and
I heard this.
I played that song as we was going down through there. It was just part of it, you know.
Yeah, that's like when you go to Memphis. You go play walking in Memphis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give us a second of it there.
Of what? Of the California song?
Sure. Either one.
Or Rose.
Here's the one I was telling you about. Or Rose. Okay. Honeysuckle dripped off her lips. God and summer only knew the things we did. Sweat and sex and sound inside my bed. And the flower she wore, Lord, it fell from her head. Someday, Rose, we'll find a better way in another place where lovers go to bloom. We search for paradise in each other's eyes. Someday, Rose.
It's a good one.
I wrote that at Woolies.
Did you really?
Yep. Sitting in the floor.
Now, what was you about to tell me? You the one we talked about?
Oh. The country song. Isn't no one has ever heard it. I've been reckless with love, and I sin with my heart. She's a Kentucky girl, the Alabama sand. I swore that I loved her, she cheated one night. I guess the things we do in the dark shall be seen in the light. Should've left her on that island, no way back to Tennessee. Started once, left my life, but I brought her back, and I gave her a ring. Now she's another man's wife. Yeah, she's another man's wife.
Now, what was you saying?
I never knew you were so country. I like it.
That's a pretty country one.
Yeah.
I like it.
Now, did you say nobody's ever heard that before?
Not many. Yeah.
Really? I would be, for my nostalgia's sake, I would be remiss if I didn't at least bring up Footprints on the Dashboard.
Oh.
Yeah. How long has it been since you
No chance you would get me to ever sing that.
What's the name of that song, actually?
BS and Onion Gravy.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't sing that one anymore, huh?
No.
How many times have you sung that song?
A billion.
A billion times, yeah. Is that why it doesn't get sung anymore?
No, it's just too much cussing.
Yeah. It was good, though, man. At 1 o'clock in the morning.
But see, I never had to cuss. I just let everybody else cuss.
Right. At 1 o'clock in the morning at Vinny T's, it's the best thing in the world.
I really like to know how many times I played at Vinny T's.
Really?
There's no telling.
Right.
I'd probably be scared to count it.
I remember going over there at nights you were playing in hopes of just hearing that song.
It was really crazy in Salina. Like every time he's like, "How do y'all know this?"
Yeah.
I was about to bring that up because you are far from home, but you ain't no stranger to these parts.
I played Salina a ton.
You've played a few Sawmill A-frame shows, haven't you?
A-frame was really my first gig.
Yeah.
Really?
17 years old.
Huh.
And these girls love you down here. Brenda, Keith, and gosh, she's gonna kill me for forgetting Samantha. Yeah. The two biggest Chris Rains.
We used to say that if we played in Tokyo, Brenda would be there.
Yeah.
And
She's a sweetheart. She's a sweetheart.
I love that woman.
Yeah. She's good.
I mean, if you don't like Brenda, something wrong with you.
Yeah, I agree. So
She's been to a billion shows, yeah.
she's not the one that's got the stuff around the mirror. Yeah. I mean, that's another level right there.
Oh, I'd say Brenda's got it. She may not have it hung up.
Displayed, yeah. It's pretty wild.
She's got photo albums that I don't want to see.
You're going to burn them and put them in a shredder with...
Oh, yeah. She's like, it's a blackmail book right here,
There's one photo from our days. I threw a few away when Waylon was born. Waylon got older, started looking. But there's one that was particularly bad with a backwards hat, beer spilled about 3/4 down the shirt, eyes just crazy looking. And if I'm smoking a cigarette, I'm knowing it. And so those have got trashed. But so Salina, a lot of good memories.
Did y'all hang out at Cotton Eye Joe?
Oh God, yeah, that was the place.
I didn't mean go back to Salina though.
No, every Thursday night, whether it was big X's, big 5-inch X's on my hand.
I played there on Tuesday nights for 2 years.
Really?
Yep.
Tuesday
nickel pitchers.
Boy, you can't beat that.
Nickel pitchers.
You got to get in there somehow on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
One of my biggest heroes when I first got to college, I think he played Thursday nights in Knoxville. Tall Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Brown Eye Girl, Buffett, kind of stuff. I was like, love this guy. And I would just go in with I had one of them notebooks and I go, ooh, I need to learn this song G, C, and D, and I'd write down the chords so I could get in the ballpark to start. Love that dude. And we just, all the time, every Thursday. No, it was Monday nights in Knoxville. Monday nights.
I'm not even sure.
I don't remember where I was going.
I'm not even sure who Tall Paul is.
You wouldn't know him. He's a college guy.
Mm-hmm.
I would call it, but he's probably been around for
forever.
Yeah, I know. but he was the guy that I went, that's what I want to do right there.
All right.
Yeah. He played my birthday 3 times at Benny T's.
I always wonder. You always wonder, when you get a real good hairdresser, who cuts their hair? When tattoo artists are really good, who gives them tattoos? So that's interesting to know.
That's exactly like what I done for his my birthday. 3 years in a row, we had him once upstairs and 2 downstairs, I think. But every year I'd hire him. I go, don't play anything anybody says except for what you want to play, because this is my show, my birthday. I want to hear what you want to play.
All right.
Yeah. And he would play it, and he's like, be so different. I was going, perfect, love it.
Yeah.
You know why I fought for you for the longest. And in this one particular instance, what I give Chris and Brad and whatever variations been throughout the years. Like I said, I've had Goons T-shirts and I've had Pilot shirts. Actually, at one point on Facebook, do you know that I was the manager of Pilots of the Universe? And I don't know how. You tagged me in enough stuff that he said
you can still be if you want.
It said Dustin Kennedy manages Pilots of the Universe.
You probably did. We just didn't know it.
Yeah. But at the time, now not to when James bought Woolies from Tommy. And he put me in charge of that.
What year was that?
2011. He bought it. We opened on New Year's Eve, December 2011.
We started at Woolies on Thursday nights in 2008.
Yeah.
End of 2008, I think.
That's really when I got to knowing you.
Yeah.
The Vinny stuff, I knew who you were, and God knows how many times I've talked to you.
But I think I knew you before James bought it, didn't I?
You did, yeah. 2008, 2009 is when we really got to knowing each other really good. But when James bought it, he put me in charge of music. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you was booking all the bands and stuff.
And you remember where I'm going?
No,
is that
I don't
love James to death, but he had a budget, and you and Brad come with me with a number.
No, I don't remember this.
You don't. You'll remember when we get talking about it.
Okay.
You told me this is what we need, and I told James. I said, "Well, just give it to him." I said, "He's been playing here for years. He's got a good fan base," and James was running the business. He was trying to be smart. And I said, "Yeah, we can get this band for this." I said, they're going to bring in 15 people. We can give Chris what he wants. And I said, he's going to bring in this. He's got a solid fan base. And I remember.
I don't know where you're going, but I know what I would answer right here. But go ahead.
But I remember you telling me, thank you so much. And we talked about it. And I'm like, well, you're worth it. And to me, it was, because you always had that fan base. But it's different because these other guys are going to come in and they're going to play whatever. But when you get Chris and whatever band that he's got, whatever variation of time, you're getting a presence. You're getting what it feels like you're in Cookeville but it's a big time presentation. That's what I always liked about
we
you.
We throw production at it too.
Production. You got the banners. You got the lights. You're going to be something I appreciate. Put all over social media about it.
Yeah, we advertise. We do all that.
You're going to get your money's worth.
But I think 90% of those people that come just because they just want to be a part of something. 90%. They don't care that I'm playing. I could go up there and play Last Dance with Mary Jane 700 times, and they don't care. Because so many of those people, especially at Woolies, they just want to be part of the club.
That's it.
And if you come by and you're like, give me a hug, and they're like,
I've never seen anybody better, especially in that market, than you are with those people. Let's have a Jaeger bomb. Jaeger bomb time, people. You sold more Jaeger bombs for that place than
I wasn't even drinking them.
Yeah.
They wasn't real?
Yours weren't?
No. Tommy used to try to bring them to us, and I was like, there's no chance you can bring Jaeger bombs up here like this, and we're going to survive the night.
So what was you taking?
It was Coke but it was like Coca-Cola and Red Bull, which wires you up completely.
By the time you take
it. Caffeine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, there's no, and I was like, you can't give alcohol to the drummer. That's the worst person you can give alcohol to.
Yeah.
Because they just slow down.
That's like the That's like the old. That's like the old.
You give them a bunch of Coca-Cola and Red Bull, and then all of a sudden you're.
That's like the old Ric Flair trick when he said he was the world champion in the 80s and 90s. He said, "We got to. You're the champ, baby. I'm the champ. I got to get everybody. Blah blah blah. I got to get everybody. This is how you party. This is what you do." And he said, "So I'm getting Sting drunk. I'm getting Lex Luger drunk." And he said, "We're taking shots." He said, "I'm pouring mine in the plant." He was taking and pouring it in the plant next to it. So
I used to play in a place in Atlanta called KJ's, CJ's, KJ's.
Gold Cheetah is the only thing I know about Atlanta.
But it's down in Buckhead, and they on stage they put me a Jaeger machine and a one tap keg. It's like give it away all night, but you can only give it to girls.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't play nothing. I was just a bartender. That's all I was. I'd play 2 or 3 songs and go.
Yeah.
And then I'd finally just get one girl to come up there and just start serving people,
right.
Which was so probably unbelievable, illegal.
Yeah.
It was rough down there in Buckhead. That was around 99 when the Braves was in the World Series.
Your shit will get jacked in Atlanta.
You know what they done? I had a van, and I would come in at 6 o'clock in the day, and then I would load in, play the show, and I think I got done at 1. And so as soon as I said, thank you, good night, I went straight off the stage, straight into a car, and they took me to the hotel room.
I bet.
All my gear and everything there. And so then 2 bouncers would load it up in their van and bring it to the hotel room because everybody was getting jacked. Leaving because they're like, well, he's a musician. He's probably getting paid cash, and he's got speakers on him,
right?
And a guitar that we can pawn tomorrow. It was rough. I was down there playing the night that one of the Falcons got stabbed or something.
Oh shit!
You weren't down there when Ray Lewis?
It could have been somebody. It was in the bar like half a block away, and somebody was stabbed that night.
What's it like being on stage playing? At the beginning of the night when everybody's kind of lucid and paying attention, and then how that progresses to the end of the night whenever is there a point at some point in there that's better? Does it go from it's not too good to man, this is where everybody needs to be to oh my God, they're hammered?
Wait, that's a different question. Am I having a good time or are they hammered?
Well, are you having a good time at that point? What's the difference? When's it good for the band?
When I got a guitar around my neck, I'm happy.
Right.
So
when Jeremy Mackey's going, drink in my hand.
I'm like going, here comes Mackey. He'll be tickled that we was talking about it.
Yeah.
But no, you can usually tell when
it's starting to turn.
Yeah. I always say if you ever see us play Every Rose Has Its Thorn, I'm losing.
Because you're trying to get them back?
And if you play Every Rose Has Its Thorn anywhere in America, you win.
Right.
I don't know why, but you do. Because it don't matter what kind of crowd you're playing for. You play that song and everybody goes, oh, yeah, it's good.
So Mackie would want me to ask you to play. We saw you at the spot in Gainsboro over the summer. Because so many times, since I moved back home 5.5 years ago, the only time I've been to Woolly Bullies at night was to see Chris Raines. I won't go there if anybody else is playing. If Chris is, and I don't get to go often. That's not our scene anymore, really. It's not our deal. We don't go out.
But DK has opened up for us before.
Stand-up night?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A couple times, wasn't it?
Yeah, a couple times. One was not good. The other one was good. I had a good time with
you
it.
and that Trey guy was there one night.
Trey Crowder, yeah. That was 2000. That was 2011 and 12 back to back.
I remember he had that wolf shirt on.
Yeah.
And I was so confused by it.
Me too.
I was going, why's he got a wolf shirt on?
But it makes sense now.
But no, it's beautiful now because I'm still talking about the wolf shirt.
Yeah.
So he done something right.
He knew something.
He had that wolf shirt.
We did. It was the Goon Fest 2011.
Was that a Goon Fest?
The 2011 was 2012. I don't know what it was. Do you remember the time that I done a stand up and you incorporated that Eric Church song and you learned "Drinking in My Hand"?
Oh yeah.
So I could say
I forgot that too. Yeah.
All you got to do is put
Oh yeah.
Eric Church's in Mackey's hand. Don't put a drink in his hand. Put Eric Church's
but
in
you had
Mackey's hand.
You had something in the whole thing where you went, all right, when I say this, go get your guitar.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
And I had to sneak up kind of, and then you was kind of waiting for it to happen, and then you was like, all right, go.
Yeah, we worked on it, and I can't remember what the...
You had something in it. Goes, when I say this line, that means start playing.
Yeah, and so he's just over there setting up stuff.
Like
you're just getting
like
ready.
I'm tuning up so when he gets done, and then all of a sudden I just start playing. They're like, what's going on?
I think it was something like, if only we had a guy that could play guitar here. He starts going into Drinking in My Hand, and I said, all you got to do is put Eric Church's in Mackey's hand, or something. I forget what the punchline was. It was something similar to that. Because you just I've never played that, but it took you like 30 seconds.
Every time he's on the show, I crack up.
Yeah.
It's hard not to. He's just naturally a funny dude.
I saw him at Cracker Barrel with my family the day after the Red Sox went that long game that went.
Yeah.
He looked like he'd just been pulled out of a ditch.
Looked like Hammer Damn Yeah.
Yeah, because he'd been up all night watching that ball game. I go, bro. He goes, it was a rough one last night.
Ah, damn. Well. Me and old Steve, we're over here at the Cracker Barrel.
It was at the Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, I watched him go down a one-way road the wrong way in Nashville one time after a Titans game, and him get out and have to do the sobriety test in a Woolly Bullies t-shirt with a bush light stuffed in between the seat, and the cop come up to my window. I said, sir, all I know about that young man is, I said, his daddy's a state trooper, and he would never disparage the good name of Steve Mackey by going here and driving drunk. And, we went home. We made it home.
You would think as much as those two boys loved music that they would have been guitar players or something.
Yeah, no. Same way with me.
Yeah.
I mean, I
just love it.
Yeah.
They love music like I love music. Yeah.
Yeah. And you just, some people got the discipline to do it and the patience, but
I think they like being listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's for them is like, I want to go play guitar. I think they going, that's a great song.
Yeah.
They want to hear the song.
Now, I know when we saw you down at the spot that time, because I told Lindsay that day, I said, man,
I played some fun songs that night. I remember leaving going, that was one of the most fun set. Yeah, I mean, I played like John Prine and something crazy, and I was going, I never get to play any of this stuff, but I knew that crowd would be okay with it.
Right.
And I could get away with a little Travis Tritt here, and and that's a fun gigs because when you know your crowd like that, like they're going to dig it,
Yeah.
I was doing yard work, and you texted me and said, spot tonight. I told Lindsay, I said, I'm going to the spot, whether you're going or not. I said, he invites me all the time, and I said, I don't get to go anymore.
I like playing there. I don't think they do it much anymore, do they?
They don't do it enough. That could be a really cool place. You about to play it, wasn't you?
I don't know. What was that?
I don't know. I can't. I always have to hear Travis Tritt, and I want. And the Garth song that my night's complete as soon as you play. Which one? Would you play every time?
What's she on?
Yeah. To hear Chris Raines' version of Garth Brooks'. That's no shit. I ain't gonna unless you're gonna pay my house payment. I ain't got a reason to lie to you.
This is the only Garth song that Brad likes.
Yeah, my top 3.
This old highway's getting longer. Seems there ain't no end in sight. sleep will be best, but I just can't afford to rest. Got a ride in Denver tomorrow night. Call the house, no one answers. For the last 2 weeks, no one's been home. Guess you're through with me. To tell the truth, I just can't see what's kept a woman on this long. And the white line's getting longer, and the saddle's getting cold, and I'm much too young to feel this damn old. All my cards are on the table with no ace left in the hole, and I'm much too young to feel this damn old.
Woo! That never
GB.
gets old. That never gets old, man.
Yeah.
I love that song every time it comes on the radio, man.
It may be his best.
Oh, yeah, it very well could be.
Especially if you're thinking traditional country, yeah, that's right down the...
And I believe he wrote it driving down the road to Nashville because of the worn-out
song-
tape of Chris Ledoux that he had laying in his
He had
console.
that song before he even came to Nashville.
Really?
He had that one and one other one, I think, that he actually ended up recording, but I don't remember what the other one was.
Yeah.
But that was the only two that was ever made it, that he already had. Him and his band was playing at the bars
Really?
in Oklahoma before he ever came.
Oh, he's bad.
What's your favorite Travis Tritt to play?
Mm.
The more up-tempo stuff. Like, what's your favorite one to get the crowd going?
Well,
Yeah, baby.
well, I was raised on country classic, like Roy Acuff and George Jones. And now, Lord, I love to hear 'em singing all them old-time country songs. But I really got excited by the time I turned 15. That's the first time I heard a wailing noble surfer sing. As I'm driving the country, yeah, and that really turned me on. Woo! We played some shows in Atlanta on Sunday afternoon. But the gigs was packed and I was nervous, 'cause I wanted folks to like my tune. Well, the crowd was full of younger people. They were all about my age. So I turned and told the band, just before we walked on stage, it's some drive in your country, fellas. We turned those people on. Oh, yes, we did. Yeah, put some drive in your country. Keep country driving on. Whoa. When the music gets you moving, you know that can't be wrong. See, I made myself a promise when I was just a kid. I'd mix southern rock and country. That's just what I did. Some drive in your country, yeah. Keep country driving on.
Ooh.
Let me tell you something. You do that for 30 more seconds, me and you's going to Batty's, we're getting 12 more Miller Lite, and I ain't going home tonight.
I love Travis Tritt.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. That was a good one.
Yeah.
On my birthday, I'm going to tell you, you can play whatever you want, but you can play that one.
It would have helped if I'd have tuned the guitar first, but
And
it don't really matter.
Nobody
Yeah.
paid no attention to that. That was nice.
Not even me.
Who would you say, other than Garth, who is another 3 or 4 of your main influences growing up? I know you're all over the place.
Steve
honestly.
Warner, for sure.
From seeing him here. 'Cause that's when
I just loved him from... He's got so many hits that nobody knows. But they know him.
Right.
I mean, he's got 20 hits, which is huge. But I was crazy into all the metal stuff, the Bon Jovis and all that stuff, and not anymore. When Bon Jovi put out a country album, I was like, nah.
Yeah, no. Everybody goes to country. Steven Tyler went to country.
Hey,
Darius Rucker's over
that
here.
Steven Tyler documentary about him going to country is awesome.
Really?
And the songs are good.
Where can you find it at?
Yeah.
Netflix.
Okay, well.
Hulu somewhere.
Okay.
And it's good. I mean, it's a show at the Ryman. And the songs are really good. I think the guy, it may be Willie Nelson's son that.
Lucas Nelson?
Yeah, he may have wrote some of those.
Okay.
You know, in his younger days, Steven Tyler's younger days, whenever his voice was just crisp and clear, there's not a better singer that could just come out there and belt one out.
What is he, 80? Still doing it?
Well, yeah, I mean,
And-
last year he's 109. I mean, he was killing it still, but he's such a odd, eccentric fella. He's just a...
And it's not a typical good voice either.
Right.
It's not like,
Right.
oh, he can sing.
Yeah.
It's not pretty
Right.
by no means, but it's good.
Yeah.
You know?
Good.
Boy, when he was young and belting was out, and I can't think of any of them right now, but Dream On is what I kept trying to think of. He's young when he's doing Dream On. Oof.
When I hear Dream On, I can't picture that being his voice.
Yeah, it doesn't fit.
It don't fit
It
now.
don't fit. No.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're going to see acts like that anymore
Mm-mm.
because they can't, the money's wrong.
Yeah.
There's just not going to be record deals. And if they are, you're going to, like, back to Jason Isbell. Jason Isbell is his record deal.
Right.
He puts all that money out for them CDs to go out.
Yeah.
You know, he's getting those pressed
Yeah.
himself. That company is hit.
Hmm.
And you got to.
I would
Because,
say, or the record company's taking 80 cents of every dollar that gets made. Maybe more than that.
Well,
about 80 cents is about right.
Yeah.
you thought all the musicians we've had on the show, Jason Eady's related to his, his label.
Yeah.
Nathan guys we had, and Shooter has come into his own label. Andrew
Edie's
Pope.
got his own label.
Yeah, I forget what it is. Maybe he doesn't. Hey, that's one that we turned you on to that you're going to cover eventually. The AM Country Heaven.
Yeah, that's a good one. But you can't. The money with record deals is just, it don't work.
Right.
It's unbelievable. And if you ever, back in the day, you remember the band TLC?
Yeah.
Did you ever see them break down the music business
Mm-mm.
about the record deal?
No.
They had a great record deal. $1 million up front. They spent $500,000 on the studio, which is norm. So now they only got $500,000 left. They paid their manager $100,000. They paid their lawyer and their business manager $25,000 each. No, $350,000. Now you take tax out of that, about 48%. So now you're down to $180,000. This is day one of signing it right now, like sitting at this table. Then you split it 4 ways with members. There was 4 at the start. $45,000. They went from $1 million check to $45,000 immediately.
That's sick.
But here's the kicker. They done good. They sold 1 million copies right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
So all that stuff. That's what people don't understand about record deals. Record deals is not a good thing, really, because you got to pay that money back.
Oh, yeah.
So all that $1 million right there, that's just a loan.
Right.
They get their money back before you get the first dollar.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're $1 million in the hole. Now you're going to do 2 videos at $500,000.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to pay your publishers, your songwriters. So now you're $2 million in the hole. Now if you sell 1 million copies of that album, and you got 20 points on that record, which is pretty much 20%.
Right.
So now you've just sold 1 million albums, and you're back to zero.
You have to say your first $1 million before you get back even.
And now you can. Somebody like us could sit down here with your equipment right here, record an album,
Yeah.
put it out there, and sell 40,000 copies.
Mm-hmm. Make the same money.
A lot more money.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Huh.
They're gonna quit. I mean, it's just gonna be.
Oh, it's just a matter of
thing in the
time.
past.
Yeah.
But you're gonna go back to that days of buying singles.
Yeah.
Because
That's all I buy
Yeah.
now. I don't buy albums unless it's like Tyler Childers or somebody that I just really get into, then I'll buy their whole thing. But there's got to be a reason for me to do it.
Yeah,
you know?
it's.
I pay $11 a month for Apple Music and do get everybody's albums.
Yeah,
but $11 a month.
But all right, I do the same thing. But guess who gets paid out of that?
I'm curious.
Not one singer, not one songwriter, not one publisher. The record company made a deal with them because that's advertisement. So,
yeah,
but see, you got somebody like Jason Isbell that owns his label. He's getting a check for streams cost this. If you have 1 million streams, that artist gets $8,000 out of 1 million. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And if you don't own the label, you never see that at all.
Right.
And that's like what Jason Isbell says. He goes, I don't see any of that money if I didn't own the label.
Yeah.
I would get zero. You know, they give me. I think you got a check for $200 once.
Huh?
Because he's the artist.
Jesus Christ! Did you ever learn one song from me that you were going to do it at the park?
Okay.
You were going to do it at the park that day. You told me you were thinking about playing it. Then you said,
I know what you're talking about.
And I told you, yes, play it. And you're like, I don't know.
I think I did.
Did you ever do it enough to play it here? We'll close with it here when we finish up here in a few minutes. If you think you might have just been filling me full of it over a few Jaeger bombs one night and said, DK, I'm gonna play this for you at the park. But then you were like, the lyrics, I don't know.
What's the name of it?
Living the Dream.
I think I did write it down.
I would love to see it. I'd love to hear your voice on that one. I put you on the spot. I'm sorry. But I know you can do it, so
Time and time again, Lord, I've been going through motion as a means to an end, but the ends don't mean free. Walking around, living a dream. Time I get a notion, till the truth comes bubbling up so bittersweet. Ain't no point getting out of bed if you ain't living the dream. I can make a big old pot of coffee when you ain't got no cream. And I don't need to change my strings. Dirt don't hurt when I sing. No, I don't have to do sit around and wait to die. No, I don't have to do one damn thing. Sit around and wait to die.
My man. And I told you that day, I said, just don't drop a GD on him. I said, just say, I ain't got to do a damn thing.
Yeah,
that's it. That's made my day right there.
That's the one on that on YouTube, and he's playing it someplace, and there's kids walking in and he goes, I'll try to clean this one up.
He's awesome. He's the man.
I think he's what the future of country music should be. It's not going to be, but
yeah.
But I like I say, we're fussing about something that you can't get mad at. What our problem is, we go to the same place looking for what we found before.
Yeah,
and it's country radio, and it ain't there.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but we go to country radio time and time again, hoping, we might find it again.
But do you want that though? Because eventually, I will get tired of listening to Sturgill 8 times a day, like any other thing. But you know what? Sturgill's okay because he's selling out overseas. He's selling out. He's doing shows at the Ryman. He's doing Saturday Night Live.
Do you think he's going to quit after 5 albums?
I don't think so.
But I bet he does.
I think he will.
Well, I bet he will.
He's that kind of guy. He said he's working on. I think he's working on a double album right now.
But see, he could quit after 5 albums and be Brent Cobb.
Brent Cobb.
Yeah, he could just go produce people,
which is what he's doing right now.
Do you know who introduced the old story? Shooter met up with Dave Cobb. And
is that City Winery, wasn't it?
Yeah, and City Winery, somewhere in Nashville,
or City Hall, or whatever, that same place,
or Exit In. I can't remember.
They was telling him about it. He thought he was the meanest guy, or something.
He's like, no, he said,
best singer, and
he heard him. He's like, Dave, you got to get here. And he's like, this is the best son of a bitch in country music.
See, I've heard this story, but I didn't know he was playing. I thought he just saw him across the room. I didn't know he was playing.
See, that's the first time I seen I've told it a million times on here. A year before High Top Mountain, the first album come out, Shooter had Sturgill at a Waylon tribute, and I thought, who's this guy? And he come up there and I said, my mouth dropped. Me and Sydney was there with Alana, Mackie Hatcher, Lindsay. We were like,
if you're traditional country, he's your man.
That's the man.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, I went and saw Chris Stapleton at Bridgestone, and I was going, I don't want to see Chris Stapleton here.
No, me either. I agree.
want to see him in a dirty old bar.
Yeah.
You know, if he's down to the Station Inn, I was like, oh,
that's
yes,
it.
Yeah. But he's that guy. He's that guy that you don't want to see in a big place.
I agree.
And I think he's a little fish out of water there, too.
Yeah, I saw him at Marathon Music.
Yeah, it's a perfect place. Perfect.
Yeah. Are you a Tyler Childers fan?
He's told me a few, and then Brad saw him at Bonnaroo, and he said, listen to this one. And everything I've heard.
Have you heard Shake the Frost yet?
So.
Shake the Frost seems to me like a song that you'd really like. It kind of seems like something you would write.
It's got a story to it.
Oh, man, it got a story to it, yeah.
I'll tell you his story right now. The tickets for Exit Inn, he's playing a 3-night set at Exit Inn.
3 nights at Exit Inn. That's pretty cool.
Well, it is for him because he's made it, right? And he's kind of going back
Exit Inn, Exit Inn 3 nights is a cool thing to do.
That's a cool thing. And there were $28 tickets, and they're online right now for $220.
Ooh.
What?
For Thursday, it's a Thursday, Friday. It's tomorrow through Saturday.
If you're selling that, of course the Exit Inn's tiny, but
no, he's not putting that price. That's the next market. It's the secondary market. It's got the tickets.
So if you're at that, you're close to Ryman.
He's already played the Ryman.
Oh, by itself?
But he opened.
Oh,
he opened for Margot.
Yeah, that don't count.
This year though, he'll be there.
If he's selling out 3 nights at
Exit Inn,
that's
a step because Cody Jinks went.
If you're selling 3 nights at Exit Inn, you can probably play the Ryman. That's a lot of tickets.
Oh, absolutely. The next step, like Cody Jinks did, a 3-night set at 3rd and Lindsley. Next thing you know, he's doing a 2-night set at the Ryman, sold out, and he played a Sin this year. That's Tyler Childers this coming year.
Who did he play with it at Sin?
Cody. He opened. It was him. I mean, it was him.
Cody just him?
Yeah.
Did he sell it out pretty good?
It was a good crowd.
Let's see, that's 5,000 people.
Yeah. I asked him that night. I went backstage and I said, all right, mother, because I was feeling good. I said, all right. For my first sentence to Cody Jinks, I said, all right, mother. I said, 3rd and Lindsley, Ryman. I said, we're here. I said, now what? He said, 2 years, I want to play Bridgestone. That's what he said. He said, 2 years, I want to play Bridgestone. Which I don't know if that's...
from what I've seen of him, I don't see him as that big room place. I don't want to see those guys like that.
Not me either. I don't either.
And that's like, I think it's perfect that Isbell plays at the Ryman.
Me too. And I just think that...
I think a big arena is...
It takes the
a lot out.
Takes the...
It to me, it sounds more corporate.
Yeah, it is.
Because you're like, well, I'm in section 302 up here,
I've been a fan for 12 years. I'm in 302.
But that's with everything, because you don't want the guys you really like to really get that popular.
That's right.
We're kind of mean that way because we don't want nobody to know about Isbell and those guys because we want to see them at the Exit Inn.
Yeah. Because you always say, like,
they get popped, when they get big, I ain't gonna like them.
Yeah, right. You go see your guy for $200 at Nissan Stadium. I'm gonna go see my guy for $15.
Bob Seger is coming in January, and the tickets are outrageous.
I bet
$300 is like the nosebleed.
Ooh,
ridiculous.
There's some on Ticketmaster, not StubHub, Ticketmaster, $800 and something bucks.
Jesus,
gosh, money.
What's the take home on that?
It's got to be crazy. How many seats would that be?
It's a 17,000 seat arena, right?
Yeah,
17,000, 18,000 for concert.
Just imagine that. We'll say that 400 is the average on that. That's $6.8 million. You know how much of that's going in his pocket?
Well, usually how that works is the promoter will buy him for so many dates.
Right.
So he's getting a straight up money for. So say like if it's that, and he's got 20 dates, they're gonna go. All right, I'll give you $2 million for every show.
Right. Well, if he takes
and he's guaranteed that, but usually after they get past that, then there's a clause where I get a percentage of it.
Yeah. Well, if he gets 15% of that, it's still $1 million. That's crazy.
Yeah, but you think about the Rolling Stones; they done 3-year tour. And each member got $1 million a show.
Really?
It's not bad money.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But that's why you don't have people doing record contracts because they're making all their money through. They're making all their money through
the tours, right?
Through the tours and their T-shirts.
Yeah, oh, the merch. Yeah.
But see, now you got half of Nashville doing 360 deals, which means
what is that? Explain a 360 deal because I've heard that a lot. What does that mean?
360 deals, like I go into Capitol Records and I'm gonna sign you a 360 deal. That means everything that happens, I pay for and they pay for equally. But they get my likeness, they get my licensing. So like if
you're giving everything away. You're giving your social media and everything away too?
Everything.
Really?
Anything you see, here's how like take Dave Matthews, for example.
Yeah.
He would go and do it and then he's like, I'm not making anything off my records. No how, so let's go do a tour. I get all that ticket sales and I get all those T-shirt sales.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm making my living off T-shirts and tickets. So if you're doing a 360 deal, that goes, you split that with the record company too.
And that's what that's that first record deal is all 360s every time, isn't it?
Now they are.
Yeah.
Because they can't make their money
otherwise, yeah.
And so they got to get their hands in the, so like Paramore is a good example. The band Paramore. They've probably got, you can go into Hot Topic any mall on the planet and there's 5 Paramore shirts in there. Of course, they're selling a ton of them because they've got them in there.
Right.
But that record company's getting
a
half
chunk
that
of
money too. And it's, see, most people like we was talking about those record deals where they broke even. Eventually, on down the road, if they keep selling and they're worth a million seller, they're going to get that back in some royalties for the rest of their life, enough to live on, surely, hopefully. But the 360 deal.
For the rest of your life, you're only getting half of it.
And you're getting split in 5 ways, 5 people in the band. It just, the math don't make.
Yeah.
You can sit here and record it in your house and put it out tomorrow and go, hey, that worked, that did.
Yeah, right.
And you have nothing to lose.
Yeah, that's why these bands like that, we was talking about Panic at the Disco earlier.
Yep.
There's only one original guy in that now, so he's finally going to get.
Well, it's like Nine Inch Nails. Nine Inch Nails is not a band; it's one guy.
Right, Trent Reznor. Right, it's just him.
Everybody else in there gets paid like just regular road guys.
Right.
They're not high dollar guys.
Yeah, that's like in that video. Everybody in there is just a gig musician. That just happened to be who he was touring with at that point in time.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's where the band Filter came from, was Nine Inch Nails.
Really?
Yeah, because he's like, man,
need to keep them together.
When I got off the road, I'd go deliver pizzas because he had no money.
Wow.
And he goes, wait, don't be mad at me. Just go start you a band.
Right.
And so he started Filter, and he goes, you know what I done? I did the exact same thing. I'm Filter. I'm gonna hire all you guys to come do it, and so he's making 100% of the money and paying them as a union fee or whatever.
Yeah. Huh.
The music business is just dirty.
Right.
I don't think you understand, like you say, the park day is one thing. We're going to wrap up here in the next little bit. The park day is one thing. The logo is one thing. You know how many conversations you and I had at Hooligans?
Billion.
Where we would sit here and like I would say, well, we're doing this, and Lucas is fighting for this, and I'm fighting for that, and
I listened to every 3-hour episode y'all had. I go, too long.
Yeah.
Well, it was one of those deals where I would fight for this, and Lucas fight for this, and we were here for the same thing. And do you remember what suggestion you give to me? You said,
"Oh no."
You said,
"Was it bad?"
Well, it was kind of real life situation here. You said, "Why don't y'all just go off who you are?"
Yeah.
You said to make y'all really successful, Lucas is the more grounded one, and you're kind of the wilder of the two.
You got to be the yin and yang of it.
You said, why don't you? That's what you said. After about 3 Jaeger bombs and 7 beers apiece.
That's me and Brad, though.
And it is.
It is.
And that's, but he used to be more like me, a little bit more, but now he settled down a little bit. And it was different when he worked with his previous employer. Now it's not as much, but that's the thing where we work so well off each other. You said, well, he's more the kind of the laid back one. He's more of the, even keel, and you're kind of you never really know. Well, he said you need to take what you really are and what he really is,
and
you need
extreme
to turn
of
that
both.
shit up. Yeah, turn it up And he said, your show's people are going to love it.
Well, I mean, like, even sitting here with him now, there's a difference from that idea. Because he's a lot more chill than I was expecting him to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
But I've always said that, just like me and Brad, I was like, I believe in bigness and hype. I want big speakers, big lights, and all that. Brad just cares about integrity. Play it right, make the music right. You know, I'm like going, yeah, but we can blow up some stuff too. You know? But he's that other side that I don't have. You know, when I go, good example, playing that song out of tune, go with it. Who cares?
Well, who the hell cares?
I don't care.
But Brad,
well, who even cares? Who even hears it, right?
Brad's going to hear this and go, tune that guitar.
Yeah, because I've watched shows of you guys, and you've dissected it. And I'm thinking, well, god dang, I don't even enjoy it now. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah,
but because you're such a perfectionist.
Well, especially like when we play at the Hard Rock, we've got 2.5 hours home.
Right.
When we drive home that night.
Oh,
and I'm going, all right, now when we've done that, and both of us can tell you every second of that show.
Right.
And I go, remember when I walk over to you and you look that way? I even get mad at Brad when I say, if you're mad, smile at me. And he's like going, I ain't never going to smile at you when I'm mad, you know. And I'm going, because the crowd won't know it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I want you to go smile and go, you're really screwing this song up, you know. And he's like, Chris, you're tearing this song up. You know, he wants to be, and he don't see it that way, that world. Yeah. And I've tried to change him, but there's no changing him because he's not built that way. He's not.
That's why I always thought that was funny, and I always laughed about it because you would talk about you and Brad, and compare it to us. Because
it's kind of the same.
Yeah, it is because you and I are kind of more of the over the top.
Yeah,
and then
you believe in bigness and hype, and he wants integrity.
And he's got
same thing.
He's like, you can't. I would say something, and he would let me say it. A lot of times back in the day, I'd say, something. I do, no, I didn't really cuss a lot, but I'd say something I probably shouldn't have said. And I would always look over, and he'd look at me and go like that, and he'd write it down. At the end, he goes, "We're probably gonna, we're gonna cut that out." And I said, "No, we can't cut that. That's good." He goes, "No, but you know what? When you look back at it, when you listen back, if he let me say that, I'd say." Oh God! I'd have cringed, and I said,
"You're maybe right."
And I just said,
see that kills me too to have to tell Brad that too. Like, all right, you're right. You know?
Oh, me same thing. Yeah. I don't want to tell him.
I never tell him when he's
just
right.
Like when we started, creative people want to be right.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're in a band, everybody in that band thinks they know what's best for that band.
Do you know when I tried to chill out on this? One thing stuck in my mind that he said, because he's always been so giving to me. Lucas has said I've got away with a lot on this show, and when he didn't want to,
you got away with a lot in your life.
In my life.
Preach that shit, brother.
So he said, we done something one night, and I don't remember what it was, and I said something to him. He goes, because he had called me out on something, and I got a little defensive. I'm thinking, come on, I put all this time in this, and don't tell me, I'm thinking, God, don't tell me. And then I said something back to him. He goes, no, I can handle it. I can take criticism. Do you remember that?
I'm sorry, Sonny.
No idea what it was about.
No, but I mean, I didn't catch the words.
Where I would always get so like, like, don't tell me. I'm sitting there trying to get these guests. Don't tell me how to do, And then I said something to you one time. I was like, well, maybe we should do this. And you're like, I'm just telling you. You was like, no, I can handle it. I can handle criticism. Yeah. And I thought, you need to back off. Like, I need to look in the mirror, Right. So it was
but I think the longer you do it, especially with a band and situations like this, where when you sit there and you go, all right, I'm not good at that, but he is.
Yeah.
So I got to shut up and let him do what he does.
Which is what I try to do, right?
Well, like if you're saying you book better or he books better or whatever, when you go, all right, I'm going to get this band, you're like, just go do it. And then eventually people will even out and go, I'm probably not the best at that. And he probably is. And you start finding a middle ground that only gets better after it gets really bad, usually. And especially with the band, the best bands are the ones who fight.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because everybody's passionate about it. Right?
Me and Brad do it all the time. Kevin Hawkins used to be our drummer, and he's like, when Chris and Brad fight, it's going to be good shit. Because we get that nervous energy when we start, and we're like setting up, you shouldn't have put that chord in that box because now I can't find it,
Yeah.
That's how it starts. And then 2 seconds later, Kevin would jump in and go, well, you shouldn't have done that. And then we turn on him.
That was like,
and then we go, oh, You ready to go eat?
Yeah.
They're like, wait, what just
Because
happened?
you're guys.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're guys.
And it's brother stuff too.
That's it.
You know?
Yeah.
And you sit there at the end of the day going, you thought we was mad? I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we was mad, but it's over.
You ever say, but you're only mad at the situation. You're not really mad at each other.
No.
The situation's what's screwed up, and nothing's going to replace 28 years worth of,
right.
Yeah.
We're not going to blow up. We might blow up after a while, but
I'm
it's not
hoping
going to change it.
happens tonight.
Yeah.
Well, creatively, no, we've been on different pages creatively many times.
Yeah.
But it was never at each other. I was like, here's what we need to do. He's like, we're not going there. And even one thing, like forever. And I said, we're going there. He goes, we're not going there.
Yeah.
And he's like, you get your way on a show a lot.
Yeah.
Shut up. Shut the hell up.
Yeah.
I did the same thing with Brad. I wrote 44 songs and 44 songs. Just play them acoustic. And I wrote probably 80 something. And I picked 44 on 2 discs. Now, listen to these. Never listen to them. And then I was like, man, that's kind of just mean.
That's messed up, yeah.
And then I was like, are you going to listen? I got all these songs wrote, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with these. And he goes, no, they're not good. And I went, 44 songs and none of them's good. I went, no. And he's like, they're all right.
Yeah.
They're not as good as your old stuff. No. Of course, that's why you got to love Brad, because you got to have, I've got a tie to that song. Brad don't.
Right.
And he's the number one thing about songwriting is you go, don't let your family judge because they love you.
Right.
Yeah, they're not gonna like
Brad's not the same.
Yeah, he's different breed, ain't he?
Well, Brad goes, no, it's not a great song, and he'll tell you, he's like, it's not a great song. You wrote better, and then you go,
well,
but you got to love that.
And I won't speak for Brad, but here's that from my side. I don't sugarcoat shit I say to Dustin. He knows that, and that's just the way it is. The reason being is because I don't understand that when somebody does that to me.
When they sugarcoat it back?
When they sugarcoat something, like if I told you that I can take criticism, it's because I don't understand if you're trying to be subtle and tell me something. Like, so if you're, you're creative, y'all are both like what I would consider emotionally intelligent. So you can read the other person on the other side. I miss that a lot. I miss that emotional intelligence quite a bit. So if you're sugarcoating something to me and trying to be subtle and let me know something, I may miss it.
Yeah.
So I need you to.
But I'm kind of like that too. I'm not going, does he really mean it that mean? Or is the songs that bad? Kind of.
And say, it comes out mean to me. My previous employer that he was talking about sat me down at one point in time and said, look, you are too direct. You're just too blunt and too honest. You need to sugarcoat that a little bit. But the thing is,
you're like somebody from up north.
Yeah, a little bit. I've got a little bit of that in me, right?
There's people from up north and they go, well, that sucks. And you're like, what?
Yeah. Well, I need that back to me a little bit, though.
But that's not a bad thing about them. They're just,
that's just what it is,
they're
right?
more blunt than Southerners are.
I can be really blunt, and but the thing is that's how I understand stuff. So whenever I'm saying it like that, that was just how it occurred to me, and I need that back sometimes. Brad may not be like that. I don't know, but
Brad doesn't need anything. He's like, just go do whatever.
Yeah.
But Brad's also the best team player in that same aspect. Like Another Man's Wife, when I wrote that, that was one of the songs. And I was going, dude, you're wrong about that one. And you're wrong about this one. You're wrong about this one. And he was like, all right, prove me wrong.
Right.
And when I write these, I never let them hear them first. I just play them on stage.
Right.
And I go, follow me.
Yeah.
But that's the way I wanted to create the band. No practice. We've only practiced like twice in our life.
All right.
This band. Twice. If I come up with a new song, I just start playing it. Feed them to the wolves is what I call it.
What I found to relate with that was when we split up, the first time to take that break, it was just we've been doing it for a little bit, and then I was like, still had.
I didn't know I was turning into Dr. Phil or not.
Well, no, what it was. Well, we mentioned it on the Allen Brothers episode a few weeks ago, but it's the point where like had all this stuff creatively that I still wanted to do.
You got to get it out of you. A creative person has to get it out of them.
And I still had to get this guest.
Yeah.
But I wanted to find it. I was like, if we get back together, I'm gonna focus less on this and focus incorporate Lucas more. And when Lucas went away from that job and he's his own boss, and now the guy that I've known my entire life is not worried about, I don't want to put that on there. But you know what, the whole time I'm thinking, I want to go back, and we kept on.
Well, let me ask a question. Did there one or two things happen? Did the Lucas you knew before this ever started, did he change or did he come back?
Well, damn, give me a stress ball. Let me think about this.
Was he like the way he is now before?
He was.
Before you started this.
As soon as that microphone, what do you, like the first time we done it?
Before you started the podcast, is he back to the way you remember him then?
You could just tell you were stressed a lot of times. And he had a lot on his brain, and he wouldn't let it go through that. And I said, maybe that was my fault. So I took it on. So when I had this stuff creatively that was in me, and I missed the podcast, people were texting me. But I knew this
I just wasn't there yet, yeah.
No, but I knew this is, it's not, if I branched out and said, all right.
Are you saying you both was kind of forcing it?
No, because we had some damn good shows
No,
before.
I mean, but by forcing it you was forcing, I think it should be this, he thought it should be that, and so we kind of was colliding, but
I think we were trying to find our way.
Yeah.
I think we were trying to find our way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then when we come back, and I thought, I can still do this, but what's it going to be called? Because I'm not going to use the One Lane Road podcast name, because it ain't One Lane Road podcast DK. It's DK and Lucas. And then we come back, and we're less this and more this and guest. And, who gives, we find out that if I can go get a big star, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what? We're going to have just as many listeners if it's.
You know exactly what I'm going to say. Back at Hooligans, I go, my favorite shows is the ones y'all just.
It's everybody's favorite.
It's talking crap. You're talking
Everybody's
about
favorite.
Somebody down there, like whatever name you told me earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know who that cat is.
Yeah.
No idea.
AJ, yeah.
But in my brain, I see a guy, and I go, he's probably like this.
And that's the best to us.
Yeah.
So the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, I said, I'm going to wait this out because I can do my own show and Lucas could do his own show, and neither one of them will be worth a damn.
Yeah. Mine wouldn't, nobody would want to listen to mine.
But I think there needs to be those two personalities.
Oh, yeah.
Because exactly like what I was talking about at the band, there's got to be somebody who's that way and somebody's that way to balance it. Because if it was your way, you'd be going blah, 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 100 miles an hour, and you don't have a break.
Yeah. But the thing is, I get too much credit for being the wilder one and blah, 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 or the talkative one. When this guy right here, now that he's showing
he talks a lot.
Some bitch is funnier than hell, and you know what I mean? Like people are like, damn, Lucas is funny. I was like, yeah, I've known it since the 90s. Ever since the year I started marking it, when I stopped marking his picture out of the yearbook and figured out he's gonna be one of my best friends. And that's where it hit for us, and I'm having so much more fun
this time go around, and I am too. Like I'm much less stressed now than what I was.
Do you think it's just the job?
Oh, I know it was. I mean, who wakes up? Who sits around and when the telephone calls at 2:00 in the morning, panics and gets up and goes into work?
So you with the job, you was kind of coming here and bringing that with you a little bit.
I was never leaving the job.
Oh,
yeah.
Mentally, I was never leaving.
I
was never leaving. Yeah.
But I just wanted to thank you because you sat through a lot of those. And that's what I'm saying. But you sat through some of those growing pains with me.
But
being a buddy,
I was only doing it because
you liked the show.
Yeah, 100%. And I thought, you hear so many people say, "I'm going to be in a band. I'm going to be a guitar player. I'm going to be whatever," and they don't do it.
Right.
And you guys done it.
Right.
And that's what you guys got to be proud of. And people I know that don't even know you, they'll ask, I heard about this show, and I saw your shirt and I looked it up, you know. But see, that's huge because you created something that was something that, well, we're going to try to buy some microphones.
Yeah.
We're going to try to do something. We're not sure what we're doing. I'm like, yeah, go do it.
We got, I've told this on the show before, we got in the truck. I guess we got in his truck and we rode to Nashville, started looking for
y'all went to Guitar Center or something.
We went to Guitar Center or something, just looking for stuff. I think y'all might
have texted me while you was there.
But could have, trying to figure out what the best thing was to get, and which we didn't get anything that day other than the fact that Dustin got scared by a homeless guy that was walking down the side of the road and hid behind me while I was down there.
Have you ever thought about videoing it?
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out where and how to video it, and and what'll be the thing to
Another
put
of your suggestions.
Yeah,
So
I've wondered whether
I
on
think
the
you'll
desk.
triple the amount of people that will hear it, especially on YouTube.
Yeah.
Do you think most people watch it on YouTube?
No,
iTunes.
they are not.
I always watch it on YouTube. Always.
95% of our
I don't
listeners.
think I've ever listened to an episode that went on YouTube.
95% of our listeners are on iTunes.
Really?
Yeah.
But if you have the video aspect, I'm not gonna watch shit on. I'm not gonna listen to our own podcast on YouTube. Well, I get it why you are because you're at work or whatever. But if we had the video,
that's the podcast world though. Like even these major guys, Joe Rogan gets 90 million downloads a month.
Yeah, I'll watch it,
and he might have 500,000 YouTube views, which is a lot. But it's if you look at the statistics on it, it's about the same. It's still about the same. He's still getting 90% of his view, which I'd say now it's a lot different. He's getting.
I think
a
it's
lot
going to
bigger.
move away from the audio eventually.
It very well may,
because that's just
everybody's moving away from traditional
easy to
media
do.
anyway. Yeah.
So I just wanted to thank you because you were there and you supported us,
man,
for a long time.
I love creativity. I love people following. I mean, who wakes up one day and says, "I want to do a podcast"? You idiots!
Right.
It was him,
That's it.
and I thought you're stupid.
And I'm going. I don't know what I would talk about, and
I was like, 90% of the time we don't either.
But the good thing about you guys is y'all didn't come from a music background or a show background,
Right.
like being in a band and stuff, and y'all just said nobody's going to listen to this, but we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's part of the attraction too,
Yeah.
especially from your local people,
Yeah.
because they're going, these guys are actually on the internet.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like Reigns is playing at the Hard Rock.
Yeah.
They still don't wrap their mind around that same idea.
Right.
Playing at Tootsie's, playing Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, you've played everywhere.
Yeah.
You've literally played from
those people that love you guys have no difference of idea of me playing Nashville and y'all being on the internet because y'all superstars here. And there's a lot of people that you're branching out, That's cool.
Well,
I mean, when you can call up, y'all got Titans people and major stars on here. That's huge.
Oh, that's that guy.
They haven't talked to those people.
Right.
I haven't talked to those people.
And you know how much shit I get for that?
Yeah, all kinds of.
Wait,
I had
why?
I had a meltdown moment on here a few weeks ago on the podcast.
Oh, people thinks he stalks the celebrities because he
pisses me off to high heaven.
And
people
we had
think I'm stalking.
we
this
had a
kid.
bunch of questions, and
That's what y'all should do. Answer some questions.
Oh,
we
we
do.
did.
We
We
have.
had a ask questions of DK, and I brought in this list. He come to me and said he's wanted to do this interview of Lucas, and I was like, "Oh, this is going to take like 6 minutes, and it's going to be bullshit or whatever." And I said, "It would be better if we did each other." So he said, "All right, we'll do your interview this night." I made this list of questions that were just going to dig into DK, and so he come down and sat down, and I started talking. I said, "Before you get started, I've got some questions. I'm going to interview you." And I just had this list of questions. One of the ones I get all the time is, does DK really stalk all these celebrities? And I know that pisses him off because he said it to me, and I dropped it on him.
Is that because they see you with Titans people
all the time?
Yeah.
They see him with Shaq. They're seeing with some celebrity
That's right. I did see
musician.
the Shaq picture.
Well, I mean, yeah, that was a big one.
But if I saw Shaq, I'd get my picture made too.
That's
Yeah.
my hero.
Yeah.
That's my childhood
Yeah.
hero,
Yeah.
And Clint Connor, actually, the guy we've been plugging the real estate and auction stuff for, he's like, I'm glad you clarified how you made all these celebrities. Because I'm always in my house going, damn, DK's met to so-and-so,
Yeah.
to my wife or whatever he said.
Everybody that talks to me about the podcast brings that up at least once.
Do they think that you're paying to see them or something?
Well, I mean, I guess it's sometimes you do, like at a book signing or something, you have to pay to get that book.
I went and
See,
stood in line to
guy
see
can
Paul
kiss.
Stanley.
Yeah.
And
Best experience of your life,
Yep.
almost.
I wanted to cry when I got done.
So how about everybody just suck it? Because
wait,
there's another
don't
one.
blame it on me because then I'll be getting the hate mail now.
I mean, it's ridiculous that you can't go meet people that that you grow up
Shoot.
idolizing and admiring. I don't care. But
You let that fly off your shoulder because
Yeah.
if I get to meet Paul Stanley, I'm going to take another picture.
like, I'm definitely not waiting at baggage claim for them. I mean,
Many times.
so last
That would be a good place, though.
last question before we get out of here. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring them up. We already talked about Mackey, but another one of the Wildcats. It's kind of similar. Now I'm a Hermit Springer growing up by nature. Always be a Hermit Springs wildcat. But in my adult life, I met one of my best friends, Jeremy Mackey, at Woolly Bullies. Okay. The kind of the equivalent of Jeremy Mackey in the Jackson County version is a guy named David Paul Scantlin. Davo.
Yeah.
Where would you rank if you had to have a bar? There it is.
That's for Dave right there.
And,
Dave's gonna be tickled.
Oh boy, you ain't gonna have a bad time at the bar with
Never.
neither one of those cats.
You know when you play as much as I do, and you go in the bar and you see the guy, you go, "Oh, he's here." Not for Dave.
That's right.
When you see Dave, you're like, "Going, it's gonna be okay."
Yeah, Dave should.
Because Dave is the perfect person to be in the crowd when you're playing, especially a place that you're not well known.
Yeah.
Like when I
He'll put you over.
go play the spot, and I go, "Well, Dave's here," and they go, "Oh, you know Dave," and then everybody calms down a little bit. And he's been a mouthpiece for me. I mean, he's preached about me for way more than he should have.
There's nobody better than Reigns around here. I don't care. I've heard them all.
Just listen to him play that summer. That's what he says.
That's it, man.
Just play that summer, and I'll show you. Yeah. I love that dude.
Yeah.
He's such a sweet guy, and
He is.
and would take a bullet.
One bullet.
Not a bullet that would kill you, but he might take a leg.
The grate you the shoulder on the way through.
He'd get winged for you.
He might get a leg or something.
But I'm the same way.
He's
with
not
him.
going to kill.
I'm the same way with him because this girl I work with, she said, I went to the Bull and Thistle Lake dinner for my birthday, and she said, there was a guy there. He's like, he wasn't an older guy, he wasn't a younger guy, he was kind of middle aged and probably, 40s. He had a One Lane Road podcast shirt, and I was like, oh my God, there's DK's shirt, And she's like, I was like, what did he look like? She goes, well, he had a cowboy hat. But it was missing a top, but he had his hair out. It was wild. I was like, that's Davo.
He's the best.
Yes. Yeah.
And he always shows up in those spots that you go, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
It was like, I think I would be playing in Atlanta or somewhere, and then he just walked, hey, Reigns. And then he just walked past me and go to the bathroom. I was going, what's going on?
Our Reigns is playing.
Reigns playing.
But Mackie at the same time is just as passionate, just as loyal to stuff like that.
Mackie is unbelievable music fan. I mean, and
you should have stopped at unbelievable.
Yes, well, that's true too. But I'll say it a billion times, and I've told my parents about this, and I don't mean to bring up something bad, but I was like, at that funeral,
yeah.
When I saw those Chipper Jones jerseys,
yeah,
I don't see a Chipper Jones jersey that I don't think about him now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chipper Jones jersey is not the same for me anymore,
right.
And that's a great thing. I mean, they represented him so well at that funeral.
Yeah. I
mean, when I left there, I was going, if I go out, put me like that, I'll be tickled to death.
Yeah.
Because it was a moving experience.
For sure.
Yeah, I did well with it.
And we got to celebrate that dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good fella.
Yeah. And, especially like we do with, me and Brad being brothers.
Mm-hmm.
It's
hard, isn't it?
Yeah. Man.
Yeah. It'd be a hard thought.
And that was the first thing that crossed my mind. I was going, I got to be a better friend to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the same thought.
Yeah,
I had the same thought.
Well,
I got to get my head on my butt.
Yeah.
And I got to give him a lot more hugs.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's why he's well represented here. We got the Jeff Mackey.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at.
Yeah.
And those trucks at the...
Yeah, that was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
It was a great, but it was like, whoa.
Yeah. It's hard. Yeah.
You got one more in you to close out the show?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Good. Yeah. That's it.
Well, plug your social media. Where can everybody find you? What's your next show?
BrotherRains.com. I think we're going to be at the Hard Rock Cafe at Piña Forge the 4th Saturday of every month next year and this year. Woolies till they run us off, and be back here whenever you want me.
This is very, very
very fun,
fulfilling for me and for Lucas.
It's come full circle.
Yeah.
I didn't think in 2004, seeing you play at Vinny T's, that you'd be in my basement talking to me on a
probably for a lot weirder reasons.
Yeah, that's right.
2004, I was thinking about Delta Gammas and Jim Beam and stuff like
trying
that.
to walk home to their train tracks.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, man. So here it is. The guy that has done so much for us from the park day in Hermitage Springs, doing contributions.
We got to do that again too.
Yeah,
absolutely. So many contributions that
was a good time.
Doing the
Real good
logo that I slap on social media so damn annoyingly often. He's been a big contributor to this One Lane Road podcast.
I'm a fan.
We're a fan too.
You're the man. And,
Thank you very much.
Love you guys.
I love you.
Thanks for showing up, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Hey, hold on.
Yep.
Sorry.
Go for it.
I've got to mention two things. Lindsay's at the store the other day.
Yeah.
She's in Country Cabin store. I got to tell this, or I'd be a sorry host here. This cat, and I'm guessing it's Barry Gore.
Mm-hmm.
They said it was a Gore man. Said that I love listening, talking to my Aunt Winona. I love listening to your nephew and his buddy on the show. She said, I don't ever listen to that.
Is it Gary Gore or
Barry Gore?
Barry Gore.
The best I can tell, and I hope it's Barry Gore because he said that's his husband or his wife. Sorry, I went to Dwight Howard on you there. So that's his wife right there. And she goes, "You DK's wife?" Yeah. You tell him I like listening to him and his buddy, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. She might be filling me full of it, but I always like to acknowledge new people that we hadn't acknowledged before. And he said he goes in there and works in his shop. And he said, I think it was a Gore man. And I said, it's got to be Barry Gore. I said, it's the only Gore man that I halfway know Brad Crowder's stepdaddy. So
could be Gary, too.
Hell, if it's Gary Gore, Barry Gore, Larry Gore, I don't give a damn who you are. Appreciate you listening. I'm glad
I don't know any of these people.
And I'm glad whoever we got listening, appreciate the hell out of you. So, and then also Travis Humphrey sent me a message this morning. He's going to be on Kicks 106.9.
Bam!
Hey, he sent me. He come watch us play.
Yeah, he told me.
He come out to Woolies and he invited me down to his thing at. I don't know where it's at.
Smithville, probably.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
He plays a lot of show. He always tells me, he's like, come on, see me. I was like, dude, that's a
Really? I love that guy. He's a nice guy. And I met him at y'all's thing.
Yeah, very nice guy. Yep. And you know what? He did a hell of a
good
job
singer,
that day.
too.
Did a hell of a job.
Yeah.
And he's always like, DK, you come to see me? I said, it's on a Thursday. And he's like, you go see Shooter on a Thursday? And I was like, all right, I'm sorry. And I tried to go see him at the Alley Taps in CMA Fest the day I saw you and I was meeting Stapleton.
Yep.
At a public event where I wasn't stalking him.
Don't use me as an example.
No. I'm just telling. I want you to vouch for me, brother.
No, I know that you was paying to get in there.
I didn't pay. It was free.
Yes, you was paying to get in there.
Free, bro.
You was stalking him.
To get in the back.
You was sneaking up the backstairs,
asking people questions. How do I get over there?
Let's make the rumor much worse.
I tried to.
I'm going to start posting stuff on Twitter, Facebook.
Blow it at your ass.
Every time somebody asked me, "How do you meet him?" I said, "That mother." He was sitting down here texting people, where's he going to be? And is there any way you can get me tickets to just put me in front of the guy? Can I get there? Just all the worst things.
I'm going to start a thing that DK is stalking Brad Raines. Brad's like, run away.
Yeah.
Well, I see him on 111. I was following him on 111 the other day.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
Love you guys. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening.
Sir.